This week, two-star chief Jerry Cerrai is in the house.
Cousin Jerry.
Cousin Jerry's here. Kurt's cousin Jerry. And it was a great episode, so check it out. Let's talk trash.
Peace.
We got the trash. We got the trash. Yeah, we got the trash. We got the trash. We got the trash. Our trash is your treasure. We got the trash. We got the trash. We got the trash. The raccoon kings are your treasure. So listen to our trash. So we listen to our trash.
Today we got a special guest here at Trash and Talk, a family member of mine, two-star chief, my protective blanket when I was at Staten Island 3, Jerry Cerrai.
Welcome, Jerry.
Welcome to the podcast,
Welcome
Jerry.
to Cerrai.
Thanks for having me,
to the
guys.
podcast.
Thanks for having me.
What's going on, Jay? How you been?
Good. Been good. Just retired back September 22nd was my last day.
Nice.
And my COB was December 31st.
Good stuff.
Good way to ring in the new
Yeah,
year.
that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How does the family feel about you being retired? Everybody's good?
Good. Everybody's happy. I wasn't really planning on it. I was thinking the original plan, I got promoted to two-star with 18 years. So the original plan was I'm going to stay for 5 more years. I'll do 23 to do
Okay.
5 years at that title, make it worth the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But always in the back of my head, I said, you know what? Once I hit the 20, I'm just going to start shopping my resume around and see if anything's out there.
Yeah.
Just because I don't want to put, my mother always taught me, don't put all your eggs in one basket, right?
Yep.
So I said, let me just shop around. I put out maybe 4 resumes. 2 people never called me back. First one that called me back didn't work out. 4th one that called me back, or the second one that called me back, the 4th resume, ended up being something that I wanted to do. And,
Cool. Closer to home, stuff like that.
yeah, numbers were right, and
That's
everything
big.
for the family, closer to home, more time with the family, less commute through the city, you know. So it was right, and me and my wife talked about it, and ended up, sometimes when things line up like that, you got to say to yourself, "There's a reason it's happening right
100%.
now." When
This
I hit
moment.
my 20, and it just everything kind of lined itself up. So.
Well, plus because now you could go, you know what? I'll do another year. And now at the spot you're at could get filled, and now it's not available.
Exactly right.
And now you're back on the hunt, and then you're there another year, and then you're there another year.
Right.
And that happens with a lot of guys,
Spirals.
right? Where you'll say, I'm going to do 25, shop around, something jumps up, but you're, my numbers aren't right, let me stay. Mm-hmm. And then you get to 23, 24, the jobs aren't there,
right.
and,
Exactly.
and then you're fucking asked out pretty much.
Exactly. And this was a management position that was similar to what I was doing in operations over there. So I said, you know what, let me, like you said, those don't open very often. So I had to take a shot. And the fact that I got an offer I was shocked.
Why?
I can't even believe.
Your resume is good, man.
Yeah, no doubt. But you know what, when you put it out there, I put it out there thinking, I'll be with Sanitation for the next 5 years. I'm just gonna put it out there for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
And life called my bluff.
I
You know
could
what I mean?
No,
I would
that's
have
good
figured
shit,
for a waste management guy working at
what's that?
or working at Vissy Paper as a boss.
Yeah, nah.
That's what I thought the route was going to be.
Nah, it didn't go that
Little
way like
Vissy
some
Paper.
other guys. No.
Yeah, I'd be making like fucking $500,000 a year. at
Yeah,
Vissy
right.
Paper.
No, not for nothing. You can't go wrong with recycling, right?
No.
So born and raised Staten Island?
Yes. Born and raised in Staten Island. Yep. And my parents too, actually. Original Staten Islanders. That's a rarity. Yep.
So where did their parents, where did they grow up?
My mother grew up in New York,
Yeah.
and my father grew up originally in Midland Beach. And
But your grandparents?
My grandparents, my grandma Millie, my mom's mom was same house my mother's in New York.
Oh, so she's an original Staten Islander
Original
as well.
Staten Islander as well.
So they didn't come from the boat with Kurt's family.
No.
They weren't
No,
holding
no.
hands.
No.
Millie and Adeline, cousins.
Yeah.
Sisters.
Right.
Oh, all right.
Our grandmothers are sisters.
Sisters, right. But their parents came off the boat.
Okay.
So they were, I guess, what do you call that? Second generation or something?
Oh, they're
'Cause
second.
Their parents were first.
They're second.
My grandparents were second.
All right, cool.
Yeah, well, actually, my father's father was first generation.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
An arrow.
Yeah, that's it. And a row.
An arrow.
An arrow's
An
January,
arrow.
bro.
An arrow. Here, there.
He hears this, we're in trouble. That's all I'm saying. Making fun of my father's name. You're gonna be in trouble.
So, before sanitation,
Yeah.
what did you do for a living?
A lot of things. You want to start from the beginning? We'll start from.
We don't got
I
to go
don't
the
need to
paper
know
routes.
exactly.
We don't
from,
need
like, you know.
We don't need paper
I used to
routes.
shovel
before.
driveways
No,
for
no,
money.
no.
Like,
Real
Right
jobs. Like a real job.
right before, they were all real jobs, man. To me, anyway. Right before I was actually before I got on sanitation. It's a funny story. I actually said no originally.
Okay.
So I was. I still have it. A licensed optician, licensed in New York to make read prescriptions, make eyeglasses, things like that.
So you could help Kurt.
So do these glasses?
Yes.
He can't see
Do they
shit.
fit my face
They're way
correctly?
too small for your face. Whoever fit you,
Bro,
for
they
the
can't make me nothing big. This is big. They don't make bigger than this.
even if they fit you perfect, I'm gonna say
I
that.
need clown glasses. Is that what you're saying?
Bro, remember when you were on like the boardwalk and you would get those big ass
the
fucking
clown
sunglasses?
glasses.
The big ones, yeah. The
remember
clown
we could
glasses.
get him
Sometimes came
those.
with lights.
Yeah.
Ronald McDonald
Yeah.
glasses.
Next episode, you got to put those on.
You need lights, probably.
I know
That's
something
it,
else
you're right.
about that beautiful place that you worked with. That
What's that?
is that we met your wife.
That is where I met my wife. There's truth in that too. We knew each other from a couple Sweet 16s because I danced for DJ companies.
Yeah,
the other
he did
jobs,
that
I
too.
danced. I emceed for DJ
They
companies.
called him Crazy Foot Jerry.
Cousin Dave used to call me Danny Terrio
Yeah.
for a few years there, but I actually knew I knew Joanna. I knew my wife from like a couple parties, and then she walked in for an interview with the job, and I said to my boss, I said, "Yo, hire that girl. She's hot."
Yeah,
And
well,
then, sure enough, we're married 15 years. We're together 22.
we know it
so-
wasn't about the
nice.
looks. It
The rest
definitely was
was-
about the dancing that she liked.
Yeah, she liked the moves.
She
'cause
liked
it
the
wasn't-
crazy
At
feet.
that time, there was a little more hair up here. You know what I mean?
He's got
So-
a little bit of a lean in him.
right, crazy foot. That's that crazy foot.
So you were doing eyeglasses. Then
Yes.
what year did you take the test?
Oh man, I got hired in 05. I think I was 18 when I took the test. So you figure, what's that? 2001. Because I got hired, I was 22 in 05.
Oh, so you waited 4 years to get it.
Yeah, I think I took
Really?
it in like 2000 or 2001, 2002, something like that.
Some people don't have it like us.
I'm pretty sure it was
right.
quite the wait. Like I kind
Oh,
of
that's
forgot
normal.
about it.
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
normal for the job. It's just I
Yeah.
knew they were hiring a lot of guys within a short period of time,
Right.
so I didn't know if it stretched that far.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the test?
He struggled in school,
I
so-
mean, the test, to be honest with you, that's true. That's true. The test, to be honest with you, was, it's basic knowledge. You have a shape of a circle, and then that tool that's the shape of a circle. What are you putting it on? You're putting it on the square, the triangle. It's basically like being a kid putting a block in the proper hole. It was If you paid attention, you took your time, you did really good.
What did you score on the test?
99 or 98, and I was still list number
I
3,514.
guess. Well,
That's
we
crazy.
scored 103.5. So
Yeah, well, it's because you both cheated off each other. You put two 50s together, two
Bro,
56s together.
He can't even see.
Right,
How
that's
the fuck
true.
could he see
That's
my
true.
desk? He could have been on my lap and still
that
didn't
right?
see.
You both got 103?
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
I got
crazy.
2 wrong, right?
yeah,
And you were how high was your list number?
I was
I was
371.
348.
Wow. Yeah, I was I think it was 99.8 or something or 98.9.
Yeah, but-
and I was still list number 3,514. Like that's how many
Well,
people take that test.
and they should get it. You get all the veterans jump up ahead of you. They get
Of
more
course.
points, so they
Right.
should get it. So those guys all jump up. But you got to realize how many guys are in between, or women in
Yeah.
between,
Yeah.
that got just say 105.
Yeah.
Because for some reason it's stupid numbers with the city. Why make it simple? 99, 100, 101. But like, yeah, there's that many people in between, and it's just that fucking, it's crazy.
Insane.
It's nuts.
Insane. So I was working at the eye doctor, and I happened to be at Saratoga Racetrack with my uncle Nicky.
There you go. It's
My
right
uncle,
up his alley.
My uncle Nicky, my mother's brother Nicky,
Degenerates.
my cousin Nicky. We were there. It was with a bunch of Nickies.
Yeah,
Let's put it
I don't
that way.
know.
And then I'm at the racetrack. We're drinking. We're hanging out. And all of a sudden, I get a phone call
Yeah.
from a regular number. I don't know. I pick it up, and I'm drinking. I'm hanging out with my uncle and my cousin. We're having a great time. We're gambling. Beautiful time up there. I get a phone call, and it's it's sanitation. You want to take the job? So I was like, I'm an optician. I don't think I really want to do that.
I'm
right
working
now.
with glasses.
Yeah, I'm working with glasses. You kidding me? Like,
Sick,
so I was like, I got
Trying to hook up with this girl.
I'm like, I got a license. They just hired this hot girl that I want to chase. I don't know what in my brain made me say no, but I said, nah, you know what? Can I defer till next time? I deferred it.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I deferred it, but then one night I'm sitting there and I'm like, before the class goes in, and I'm in my room and I'm like, and this is like multiple people telling me, "Are you crazy?" My mother being one of them.
This is what I wanted to get at. Like,
Yeah.
Your dad didn't say to you,
No, no,
what
no.
the fuck are you doing?
My father definitely did. But I knew everything, just like our kids know everything now.
No, I get that, but you've seen the life that he lived. You've
100%.
seen,
And the life he provided for us.
and you've seen
Exactly.
who,
Yeah.
you've seen kind of, if you got on that job,
Right.
he knew the right people where you weren't going to get screwed.
I would be okay.
Yeah.
Right, I would be okay. Right. So I says, you know what? I want to defer. And my mother,
I never knew that.
My mother to this day, even with the day I retired, I even posted on Facebook. I even tagged it. If you saw it, thank you, June Ann, because my mother was the one that pushed me to say, you're out of your mind. You're not going to making glasses. I know you think you are, but you're not. It's not even going to be close. And
You're not a
look at
glass
the
maker.
career I ended up having.
Yeah.
Because of that. But I ended up calling. We called to put my name back on the list like maybe 3 days before that class.
Wow.
So it was a huge
and
hire.
they still did that.
They did.
Oh, so
It
that's-
was a huge hire, so I eventually would have made it, but I would have lost so much seniority.
Wait.
Yeah, but so now,
Right.
people out there know. Yeah, exactly. People out there know that if you
It was
defer,
a phone call from a payphone to DCAS, like anybody else, all right?
Yeah, it was a phone call.
212 number.
but no, now that people know, if you're watching this, you defer. You could call up to the last minute, pretty much.
You can, yeah, but
And-
you got to get the right person on the phone who actually cares, which is the hard
100%,
part.
you
You
know?
know?
Yeah.
And then that poor son of a bitch that you knocked off probably hung himself, and
Yeah.
whatever,
Right,
it is what it is.
right. But you know what? You have to get somebody who cares, and
Some
you have
poor
to.
Irish
There was a
kid
guy.
struggling.
Yeah, there
to
was
them.
a guy who jumped off the Verrazano because
Yeah.
he was on the test,
Yep.
the list, and he jumped. Yeah,
Irish
Yep,
kid.
he gone.
Yeah?
Yeah, back
Irish
in
kid
04.
his whole family hates Italians now.
Believe that prejudice against Italians.
But did your dad try to kind of force you?
My parents never really forced me to do anything. They
Like-
never really forced me, but I think they did a good job of steering me to where I should be. You know,
What did you know about it?
what did I know about the job? I mean, I knew a lot about
Because
the job.
as a kid, a lot of times the kids really don't know what we do.
I knew a lot about the job, but
They
not
just see
but
dad
not
home
the-
in fucking 3 hours.
right, whatever. not the street part of the job. 'Cause
Yeah.
remember, my father was on the truck in Manhattan, Manhattan East 3 when it was a 3-man truck. He started,
Yeah.
and then he went to Fresh Kills and he stayed there as a foreman.
Yeah.
So I knew when the landfill was
Yeah, you weren't
operational.
alive when he was in the street.
I knew that part of
Yep.
right, exactly. Or I was too little to know.
Yep.
So I knew the insides of, Fresh Kills and like the disposal part of the job. I never really knew, like, other than like you and cousin Chris and guys I knew who were like on the truck, like from my family.
They laugh. I forget who was on here. Oh, Fasano was
Yeah.
on here when he was laughing how many people in our family on the job.
Yeah.
Cousin Carl.
It's insane.
Chris.
Yeah.
Me. You.
It's insane.
Your dad.
Yeah. Yep.
There's got to be somebody else.
A tree of city workers. There's got
Panero.
What's that? Yeah.
Panero's
yeah.
our cousin.
Yep.
He's on the fucking job.
Yep.
Like, I've
100
never
people.
heard of. Yeah. So,
Listen, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's a great job.
No,
Yeah.
and
provides. I never in my wildest dreams would think I had the life I have because of that job. It's
No, and as much as like I used to hate it, like going to places like I have cousins and friends on the job, and you
Right.
would go somewhere and talk about the job the whole time.
Sure.
But that's probably what they did, and you hear it at like family parties and stuff like that. So
Right.
it's like people all around you are pretty much telling you, dude, you got a chance to do this. You have to fucking do it.
right.
Like, what are you doing? You're stupid.
Exactly.
You're not a glassmaker.
Exactly. Well,
Get over it.
That's exactly what was happening.
And then you probably say, Dad, yo, come check this chick out, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
right.
you got to check this
Yo,
chick
but
out.
Dad. I mean,
remember when you
come
met
on,
mommy?
Yeah.
Remember when you first locked eyes on mommy?
Right. That's what I'm going through right now. I
At
know
the
it's not
dance,
Midland Beach in
at St.
1977,
Christopher's.
but it's the same feeling, Dad. You know what I mean?
But now getting on the job, did you feel like you were ready day one, or did you were you still a little uneasy?
I was nervous. I was
Yeah.
nervous. I was a 22-year-old kid. Like I always say, that job forced, I think, all of us to grow up and become men.
Yes.
Much,
quick.
much faster than
Yeah.
somebody who doesn't have a job like that. Because if you don't wake up on time, like there's no like, oh, you're going to be good. Especially in the beginning, being on probation.
Yeah.
You had one shot to get it right.
Oh, really?
So
Can't be late on probation, could you?
yeah, no,
No?
you're not supposed to.
Okay.
Yeah.
It all depends who you know.
You could be going a lot of different ways with this one here.
Oh, I know where I'm going.
Well, it all added up to, I think, on the job as well. Like just to go off a little bit is, if you're late once in a blue moon, or you have a day where, oh my God, I screwed up. Like you get if you're somebody who's late every day, it was always a little bit different.
You're held accountable more than anything on that job. It's the easiest
it.
part is just to get there,
Just
like
get
we
there.
say.
Right.
And
Yep.
people
And if
can't do
you're
that.
a worker, they push it under the rug, sweep it under the rug a lot of times.
as
Anyway.
much as they can.
Because you're going to come in late and you're still going to get the route done. They're going to be like, don't worry about it. Don't do it again. Like try,
You try
but
to
if
help
it's constant,
people
then
when
you
you
go
can.
out and fuck them. Then they're going to be like, you know what? Now you're getting hammered.
Right. Try to help people when you can. But from the beginning, I was definitely, who's not nervous walking into a new job?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was fucking. My first day was fucking fucked
Yeah,
up.
and I'm a kid, and there's all these grown men with
Yeah.
30 years on the job, and one of them says to me, I'll never forget. I was with one of my first times in my 30 days. I was on a truck in Section 11 in Manhattan 1, picking up sausage bags, flat stops, and my partner is in rain gear. I didn't have rain gear yet, so I'm soaked.
Yep.
And we're swinging the bags into the truck, and he's laughing hysterical at me. He's going, "Welcome to Sanitation, you rookie motherfucker." I'll never forget it. Wow. But one of the nicest guys in the world and took care of me. You know what I mean? But I learned, he taught me that day. He goes, you only get one set of feet, one set of hands. You know, make sure you wear warm socks, the right boots. Yeah. You know, a lot of the guys in Manhattan 1, when I came on, they did the right thing. They took care of us.
Was Chris there when you were there or no?
Chris.
Cousin Chris,
no.
yeah. He wasn't there?
Nah, he wasn't there. Nah.
Uncle Joey. Was Uncle Joey there?
Nah, he
was
wasn't.
he taking care of your
Joey
hand?
wasn't there. Joey went over to Staten Island too. He was over there with the guys.
He was in Staten Island 3.
Because he left and went back. You know, he left and went back there, right?
Oh, Chris?
Chris was in 1, then went to the Kills. Kills closed. Went back to Manhattan 1.
Yeah.
And then he went to 2.
Well, I got there in 05, right? So it was like
so he was either
Dwayne Snell had just gone, but Glennie Van Pelt was the clerk. Like
that's
like
Wayne's
that
crush.
Dorenzo was there.
Yeah, Mark Dorenzo was there. Those are some of the first guys. Like, but then you had like a lot of senior guys that are gone now. Those are the guys that really, and all the guys there took care of me. Everybody there was good. Everybody
Timmy was there still.
Timmy,
the best gas man in the world.
Timmy Rice.
Timmy Rice. That's actually the one who said, "Welcome to Sanitation, you lucky motherfucker." Right?
Great, bro.
That's exactly
Timmy's the
coach.
best.
That's Coach.
Coach Rice.
Timmy Rice was one of the nicest guys to me on the job, and he always took care of me from the moment I came on. He was always a gentleman. He always wanted to show me the right way.
Yeah.
Timmy was great. Yeah, that's funny, man.
So I want to get at about Dad.
Yeah.
So what was I know your father's position at the end was a little odd. There was only 2 people that held that position. But
yes.
How high in ranking did your father get when he retired?
He went from, obviously he started as sanitation worker, and then he went to supervisor. Mm-hmm. But his supervisor position was in environmental police unit. Mm-hmm. So when you're in the police side of the job, even today with the sanitation police, you are a lieutenant when you're a foreman. Okay. So he became a foreman, but he was a lieutenant in that division. So he became a foreman.
But explain to everybody what he did, because I don't even know if that position's around anymore. He was in charge of land cover, correct? Yeah,
they have EPUs still, but it's not like it was when it was in the kills. When he retired, he was in the cover trailer because that's when they were covering fresh kills. They had all that dirt coming in, and fresh kills had been closed. Yeah. I'm not going to quote, don't quote me, but would they close in 2000 maybe or something, 99? I don't know
it was around there. 2000, 2001.
Whatever it was, and then he ended up, being in charge. Like when people were coming in, he was in charge of that trailer. When people were coming in with loads of dirt, receiving and stuff like that.
It was a peculiar spot because I remember talking to Dad about it. And when he would work his Sundays, he would work it as a regular supervisor.
Yeah.
Which was so bizarre, right?
Right.
Yeah. So you got a guy that's working for San Police,
right,
for DEP or whatever it was,
EPU,
right?
Environmental Police Unit, yeah.
And then if there was a Sunday available inside the kills,
he fell into a regular pool.
He fell into a regular pool of supervisors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's kind of like that on other parts of the job, though.
Yeah, yeah. But
so if you're in like certain locations, just say you're.
Yeah, but if you were in San Police, you would only work San Police.
No, but if you're at Floyd Bennett Field as like a foreman, you're still a foreman in your garage.
Okay.
So you would go work your Sundays.
You could go back there.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you. I got you.
And I don't know if Floyd Bennett Field, don't quote me, but there are certain locations where if you work on them, you're also included in your numbers in your regular district.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, and EPU, I don't know why, but I would imagine, I'd have to ask my father, but I think that they probably had 2 EPU officers there, him and his former partner, because it ended up, you need environmental police within the dump, right? There's a lot of regulations you have to make sure you abide by,
issues,
and people coming in for inspections and things like that. But traditionally, normally you would have like San Police, they have their own list and everybody worked there. But I guess back then it was just within the same unit. I don't know.
He was, to me, he was the best ever, your father, right?
Yeah, still the best ever, man.
He's the reason.
Often imitated, never duplicated.
This is what your father said to me.
What's that?
He raised a good douchebag son.
Yep.
But
gotta throw that douchebag.
This is what your father said to me. 2 things. First thing was, where do you want to go? I said, I want to go where I'm going to make money. No problem. You got it. Sent me to a garage where I made nothing but overtime. Manhattan 2, West 2. Second thing he did for me was the funniest shit ever. So I guess when we were in Floyd Bennett, is that where we were? Or
no, we were in Randall still.
When we were in Randall's, they all came up to San Police. They came up to all of us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, looking to recruit you.
Yes. So the guy came up to me and goes, you're Cerrai's cousin. I go, yes. He goes, "Do you want to do Sand Police?" I go, "I have no idea what Sand Police is."
Right.
I call your father up. I go, "Chad, they're asking me if I want to be in Sand Police. They mentioned you. They know that we're family."
Right.
He goes, "Well, here's the deal. You go to when you go to the police station to get your detail, this is what your father's telling me. They're going to tell you, yeah, the dumpster's in the back."
Right.
And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, you don't want that. What I do is totally different from that."
Right.
He goes, "You don't want to do that." I even went for the interview.
Right, because Sand Police and
totally
NYPD
different.
are
Two totally
different entities.
worlds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was just looking at it to get a gun.
Yeah, that would have been that would have been a great idea.
Right.
Fucking guy.
But
Kurt would have gone to New York City. Yeah.
I thank you for
Put that garbage bag down, son of a bitch. I'm thinking of like
Drop that milk gallon.
black chick in the cop movie. What the hell was that back in the 80s? Police Academy.
Yeah.
Freeze, sucker, dirtbag.
The little one that's
Poor guys, all he do is doing
And there's a guy putting a bag of garbage out.
a Twix wrap out the window.
And high tower comes in
High
behind it. Yeah.
But
Oh,
your father
shit.
took care of me. And,
Yeah.
and I'll always be grateful to him for
my
that.
dad's the best, man.
He's the reason I got where I got put. He's the reason in the beginning a lot of shit got happen. A lot of good shit happened for me.
So we know Kurt got a cushy spot. Did you get a cushy spot coming up because of your father?
Well, I started. Well, you know what? I mean, everybody speaks for when every one of us gets on the job, right? If you have somebody who's on the job, you always reach out and say, "Hey, can you help so and so try to get as close to home as possible?" That's always what everybody's hoping for, right? But some guys go to the Bronx. It all depends. Is the opening even there?
Yeah.
Right. Is the opening there? Is there an opening in Manhattan, or is the best you're going to do, Bronx too? I've seen people who quote unquote have friends or family on the job that go far because nothing is there. But I ended up in Manhattan 1. Which is pretty close to Staten Island, right?
Can't get closer.
It was a Manhattan garage, money to be made on Sundays and special events and stuff like that, more than other boroughs, right?
Yeah.
Did a year there. Yeah, just about a year. And then I transferred to Staten Island 1 with you fine gentlemen. And then I fell under your protection for quite some time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean technically a cushy spot? Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't think Manhattan 1 was a cushy spot because you're still out there on the truck picking up garbage. I look at it this way, right? What my father did on the job paved the way for me, right? My father's reputation, he was always a gentleman. He always treated people with respect. He always did things what I feel was the right way. And anybody you talk to about my father usually says the same thing. If they didn't, then it probably wasn't my father, it was probably them. But I look at it this way, where it's now my job, no matter where I get put, to honor that and make my father look good.
Yeah.
Not make him look bad or make him look
Well,
like
you
a
don't
jerk. So I
want
always
you
worked
don't want
hard.
those said people to like reach out to him and be like, "Dude, your
Right.
son's a
Your
douchebag.
son's an asshole, right?
Yeah,
I would
like-
never want that.
Which I'm
right.
not gonna lie. I mean, Staten Island 1, you were a little douchey, but this one,
More than a little. It was like 23 years old. Right?
yeah,
Right,
you,
right.
and that's the thing. It's like you're not that we were much older. Well, I wasn't much older.
No, but you just had more
But
time.
you were, I'm Jerry,
Yeah.
and this is what I'm going to do.
Right.
Which is
Yep.
new kids on the job. I get it. You feel some comfort from above.
Sure.
Wasn't he a
Even though your
video
father's
game
not
kid?
watching over you.
Wasn't
Yeah.
he-
Yeah, we put.
I went through
the
that.
friggin' video games in his locker.
Yeah, we had
ran
a
electric into
13-inch
the-
TV with Madden in there.
Yeah, we were
and we
playing
actually
Madden.
had a scoreboard behind me of Oak Tag, and we had like tallies
beat
of how many
who, yeah.
interceptions, who beat who. One time I beat Dwayne Snell so bad, I think he like started like hitting me
Maybe,
between
you
the
ever think
lockers.
maybe you should have concentrated on the
What,
driving
picking
the truck
garbage
and
up?
picking up garbage other than the fucking game? Because we could talk about it. If you like,
Yeah, go ahead, let's go. Get into
we
it,
could
bro.
talk about it.
Get into it.
I never really worked with him. I worked with him.
You worked with me one time
The one
that I
time.
remember because I was late.
Yes.
I was late. I
Yes.
woke up late. He called me, "Where are you?" It was one of those mornings that I got to say was very rare in my career that I had, oh God, I have to be at work. Like everybody has those, but
happens.
yo,
I was
it's the
with-
scariest
Dude.
feeling ever.
Yeah.
It was when we were partners.
Yeah. He jumped
don't
off the
remember.
truck
I
with
jumped
you
off the truck with you
and
I
stayed on a
jumped
recycling route.
Somebody else went with you.
All I'll
So he
tell
fucked
you
me
is
for you.
All I'll tell you is this, right? I'm going to tell you my two opinions on this, right? Number one, thank God that he did that because he protected me.
You
That's
were on
the most-
probation.
It's the most important thing, right?
Yeah.
I was on probation or just after probation, whatever it was.
It didn't matter.
Either
Nobody's
way,
gonna
it didn't
fuck
matter.
with you.
He
It didn't
protected me.
matter.
I was like 45 minutes late. I was committed to work. He helped me out, waits for me. So now we're driving. I'm recycling. I'm loading. And I'm, what I think is a good pace. I'm doing a pail at a time, 2 pails. This guy goes, get the fuck in the truck right now. I'm loading. This guy, I look behind me. has like 6 pails in each hand, and he's running down the street like the Incredible Hulk, smashing them into the truck.
And all that shit over
And I'm
there.
just telling you right now, I'm gonna say 2 things. We were done in like what felt like 5 minutes that day.
Yeah.
It was a really hot day, but my shoulders are still in good shape because I used to do 1 or 2 pails at a time. That's all I'm
I got
saying,
it.
bro.
You're
That's all I'm trying to say.
You're 100%
That's all I'm trying to say.
You're 100%
I love
right.
you and I appreciate you.
100% right.
But yo, check it out, bro.
Do you remember? Remember me yelling at you?
Yeah, he was screaming at me. Gotta come on, move
and then,
the fucking
and then
truck.
he's driving the truck. I'm like, move the fucking truck.
Bro,
See,
forget
now,
it. Forget it.
But see, this all comes around.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
This all comes around because now the shoe was on the other foot. Because that's what normally I'm doing to him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
cursing him.
And he was doing it to me.
Because he's
was too slow for your
exactly.
goal, right?
I wasn't too slow. The driving used to fucking.
No, it's messy Marvin, bro. That's
Yeah.
my biggest problem with
There's
him.
nothing wrong with
was
being a little
I
messy.
would go
It's
back
garbage.
around the block. Say now halfway, through the day, even if I'm driving home after the route, and there's fucking garbage littered all over the street, and I know we just did it.
Come on, bro.
Like, Kurt, clean it up, man.
Spillage.
Did he get-
Spillage 101.
yes.
You got to
Yeah.
clean up your spillage.
He's
Well, you're
just
allowed-
launching shit from across
You're
the
allowed
street.
so much spillage.
He's like a
You know that,
juggler.
right?
That's not really
It's
true.
1.3%. You're allowed.
Where is that? Is that in the contract?
It's in the bylaws. It's in the fucking bylaws.
Once a shop steward, always a shop steward, right?
It's in the fucking bylaws, my friend.
Yep, always got the answers.
Yep.
Yeah.
You could try to sell that. Some people might buy that.
Yeah, they might.
You,
They
you
might.
don't know if they're going to buy until you try to sell.
He bought
right?
how the fucking cat litter shit happened. He bought that the first time.
What?
About when I said the cat litter was from the fucking
Oh, the cat litter.
the fucking Roman Empire or some
Yeah.
shit.
So did you hear a lot of shit from people like, oh, your dad this, your dad, cushy spot, people who knew your father, or that just like kind of
Nah, not really. And I think the reason for that is because, again, if I was quote unquote steered into a certain spot because of relationships, but it was always if there was an opening, I was recommended for it or whatever, I would go for an
I'm
interview.
just saying in general.
Yeah.
Like, did you ever get shit like that from guys
Not really. Maybe once or twice.
that knew your father, just busting your balls?
But never to a point where, and again, it was because I always tried to lead with, some type of
do it the
respect
right
or
way.
level of
Yeah.
respect for my father. I will say in my early years, and you hit it on the head, I'm Jerry, I'm going to do what I want to do. I was 23 years old. I was full of piss and vinegar.
Yep.
And certain foremen, I butted heads with. I think we all kind of had that, right?
Who was that?
Not
But-
me.
Some people that
I didn't butt heads with nobody.
I just wanted to
Come
not.
on, I gotta know now.
I wanted to not do certain things for because of the way I got treated. Put it this way.
Section 11.
We'll go, no. So,
I thought it was.
Oh,
So-
dude. Oh, don't even worry about him. Bro.
we were, I'll give you a
messy
quick
to
one.
begin
You talking about this?
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about that.
Fuck him.
No, I thought he was 11. That's why I did that.
No, 11 is. No,
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, that's-
Was that a cat?
that's not-
There was a
that's
cat assigned to that?
kinda do with a wolf.
What the hell was
A
that?
wolf? A wolf? A wolf.
Time out. Can you do that again? Apparently.
I can only imagine what your neighbor downstairs thinks of you. If you're making those noises.
Last night?
On the treadmill? Boom, boom, boom. How long were you practicing that noise on the treadmill in your house?
I don't talk on the treble because I'm dying. I'm
Another mile. Jesus Christ.
Put it this way.
No, you don't have to tell names.
I won't. It was the worst. It was the worst section in Staten Island 1, right? The most dangerous section in Staten Island 1.
14.
Yeah, I think it was 14,
Okay.
right? So I'm on a dead end. I'm by myself on a love truck or whatever, doing MLP. I get told by that foreman, stay here and sweep all of this up, clean this whole
Pick the
entire
bullets up.
clean the whole entire dead end.
Yeah.
So
Wait,
now I'm
down in the harbor,
I'm
like?
right next to the apartment buildings.
Oh,
Asshole.
fuck you.
So now I'm by myself, which whatever. I'm
Holland
sweeping. I'm raking the shit out. I mean, this was a mess, and that's fine. It's my job, right? I'm raking it out. Put a couple things in the truck already. I dumped a couple barrels in there. Next thing you know, one truck pulls up, black windows. Another truck pulls up, black windows. Window comes down like this. Guy went like that. Got in my truck, and I left. I wasn't staying there for whatever was going to go on. And he gave me the heads up to get the hell out of there because something was going to happen that they didn't want me to see. Yeah. And they didn't care if I was there. So if I had stayed, who knew it was going to happen?
You were next.
So I just left.
Yeah.
And instead of going to my next stop, I guess I thought it was late enough in the afternoon, I went into the locker room and turned on PlayStation and started playing with Dwayne Snow. And then Big Daddy kicks down the door to Oz, the locker room, right?
Yep.
Kicks down the door, starts screaming at me, where are you? I'm getting chewed up because of you. Remember that?
No.
I remember that. You yelled at me all the time when we worked together, and I'm telling my mother. I never told her, but now she's gonna know.
I'm gonna say one thing.
She yelled at me all the time, but I was justified though because I should have been
your
yelled at because
mother
I should have
said to me,
contacted her.
When you got on that job and came to Staten Island 1, your mother called me. I'll never forget it. I was choked up about it. You know, she actually called me and she said, "Listen, I don't care what you have to do. You keep that little fucking line." I said, "I got you, June bug." You know what she said? Thank you, Curdy Wordy, because I'm her fucking favorite.
First of all,
who's your mother's favorite?
First of all, you.
Yeah.
But first of all, well, listen.
Besides our kids, bro,
right? I mean, come on. But
and Joe Cadillac.
Curdy Wordy. That's how I know it's true, right? But I will say that she'll never call me a little fuck. So that's probably a fake story.
She just wanted me to take care of you. But dude, I would kill for you. You know that.
I know that.
Well, you know.
Likewise, you almost did.
Any movie, you know. Tell Wayne about your little
He
movie
almost
experience.
Did. He almost did. Want to go down?
Tell Wayne about the movie.
What movie?
You want to go?
Tell him about the movie real quick.
I was about 13 years old. A couple of older girls liked the kid, right? So I ended up going on a date with one of them. She's like 2 years older than me. She had a crazy boyfriend. I was waiting behind the movie theater in Highland Plaza waiting for her. The crazy boyfriend pulled up and hit me with 2 fists. He was about his size, and I was 12. I was about 110 fucking pounds. Kid pushes me with 2 fists, lands me on my back. I wait for the girl to show up. Shows up, we're in the movie. I go out to see if he's still there. He's stalking me, driving around the movie theater with another kid. So now I think I'm going to get the shit kicked out of me. Somehow, I remember this kid's home phone number from a payphone. Don't know how. So I wasn't calling my dad because I was afraid what my father was going to do.
Yeah.
So I thought calling him was a better idea, right?
Bad idea.
So I call him. This guy, if I could tell you from his house on Hillside Terrace, right?
Yeah.
I counted to 4. And his Lincoln LSC was this close to the glass at the Highland Plaza movie theater, and him and another gorilla jump out of the car, and they're like this, looking for the kid, ready to kill him. He was tremendous.
I blocked the doors so nobody could get in or leave.
I forget it. And the kid, somebody, flagged the kid, and the kid left, but saved my ass that
Saved
day.
his life.
Yep.
That's love.
Yeah.
No, that's Staten Island.
You feel that?
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
Staten
that.
Island.
Dude, yeah,
Never
that's
forget
Staten Island. A grown man driving, beating up an 11-year-old.
Yeah. Never forget that.
Staten Island for you. Well, don't cry about it.
I'm actually. Hold on, wait. I got something in my eye. I'm not crying.
How long did you work at Staten Island 1?
Oh man, I wasn't there long. Maybe another year and a half, something like that.
And then where'd you go?
Then I ended up going to waste disposal operations in 125. Went from there.
As a sand worker, you went up
That's
there?
a hook.
Yeah. I went from there, and I was in like the export contract management unit too, which was down the street at 137 Center Street. And I worked with, which was cool though too, because I worked with I saw the paperwork on like how we paid for all the dumps and everything, and then how we hit like facilities with liquidated damages for certain things. And it was kind of cool to see the financial side of it too. So I kind of learned something totally different doing that.
Yeah.
And then I went to the waste disposal operations side of it, which I knew a little bit about what they did, but now it was different.
Yeah.
It wasn't Fresh Kills was open anymore. It was all contracted facilities, that
yeah.
we were paying
Like
to
the
remove
Jersey
the tonnage,
stuff
like
and
they're
all
still
that
doing
stuff.
now.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that helps you too. If your goal is to, become a foreman,
Yeah.
they always said that. Like, if you want to become a foreman, go take an office spot.
Yeah.
Do stuff like that because you learn the paperwork, and that's
Yes.
pretty much what the foreman's test is.
100%.
I mean, I only took the test in 8 minutes, so I didn't even read anything on the foreman's test.
Took it for the hours.
No, I took it for the money.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what I did. So I didn't even care for it. But they say
Right.
if you can get into a spot, and it doesn't even have to be that cushy.
Right.
It could just even be, hey, you're the fill-in clerk.
Sure.
Once a week. It'll help you to get to that spot.
Definitely.
Because you learn the numbers. Like everything is numbers, right?
Yeah.
With the, all the paperwork, the 357s, the blah, 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 knowing all those numbers of the tickets and the receipts and all that shit.
Definitely.
So, but I mean, when you take that position, do you get knee pads or no?
They're optional. If you're willing to sell your soul and become a person who wears knee pads, they have them at the door.
Because I do know a bunch of guys that went up there, and let me tell you, there was really only one guy
Right.
that I can never see doing that.
Yeah.
The other ones,
Right.
oh, they're doing it.
I will say this right now.
They're hogging it.
There was never a pair that fit me, nor will there ever be a pair that fit me, because the same guy that came through the door in 2005, I left the same guy 2025.
And you stayed with your
Wait.
wife, so that's a good sign.
Exactly right.
So it didn't switch the other way.
Exactly right.
That's a good
100%
thing.
right.
let's remember his father was in the dump.
Yeah, but was your father still on the job when you got on?
No,
he was long
my
gone.
dad
He
retired
left
in
right after. No,
yeah,
when did he
April
retire?
of 02. My father.
Yeah, right after I got on.
3 years before, 2.5 years before I got on. Yeah.
Yeah, but your father was friends with Double M, right?
Michael Mucci.
Yes,
I'll give the name out. Yeah, he's one of the best bosses I ever had in my life.
he is definitely one of the best.
Yeah, yeah.
Wayne loves him too.
The best.
He's not my uncle.
I'm not saying that.
So here's
Listen,
the
you
I'll
can
explain
cut
it.
that out. You can
he's
cut
your
that out if
uncle.
you want, but I will say he is one of the best.
Yeah, but
No,
that whole
honestly,
regime was great.
Pound for
Honestly,
pound.
I would
Every
love for
one
him
of
to
them
come
guys
on
was
one day.
great.
I don't see him much. I see him randomly at football games
pound
in
for
Staten
pound.
Island,
Yeah,
but
very good.
No, it's so he's old school Italian style. My
Yeah,
uncle,
yeah.
right. My whole family lived on a dead end in Staten Island, right? Literally, there's 18 houses,
One way
16
in,
of them were
one
all
way
family.
out.
One way or the other. It was my father's side of the family.
Right.
And Mucci's family, his parents, lived in my uncle's house in the apartment underneath my aunt and uncle.
Okay.
So he felt like part of the family.
Sure.
I honestly, I'll be honest with the both of you and everyone out there. I never called him when I got on the job.
I don't ever remember you saying
I
his
had
name,
a cousin
ever.
doing that. I used his name once, actually twice. The
I'll give you
Masseri
that.
thing at the ball field. When Masseri was busting
Masseri
my
shit
chops, and I
himself.
told him go talk to my uncle. He said, "Oh, that's not your uncle." I said, "Yeah, go talk to him." And he pretty much said, "Yeah, kind of, yeah." And then another night, I had a foreman busting my balls 12-8,
Right.
4-12, saying, "Oh, you did this." That. I said, "Do me a favor, go call my uncle." That's not your uncle. I said, "Just go call him then." And then I never saw the guy again on the job.
Right.
Like he must have made a phone call and never seen him again.
And that was it.
I never needed it. When you're a worker, you don't
Yeah.
need your hooks.
Exactly.
They get you to a spot. You're a good worker. You're never bothered.
Yep.
It's the guys that need it that
Yeah.
are. Then the hook is like,
Yeah.
what the fuck did I put my name?
And listen,
out
there were guys that my father worked with that knew me from when I was little.
Yeah, probably
Like
going to the job little, yeah,
little. Like,
seeing you on the
I
job.
went to work with
Ralphie
my
Reed,
father.
all them
I went to
guys.
work with my father all the time. Like he
Yeah.
would go in on Christmas Eve. I would bring my PlayStation or Sega, whatever it was.
So smart
hook it
of
up
your
to
father.
the TV
Bring
and,
it to the landfill.
and just play. I know that's
Yeah.
why I lost my hair.
yeah,
I mean, I
lost
lost
your
my
hair.
hair at 13
Yeah.
years old.
Yeah,
That's a
let me-
whole other story. That's
Smelliest part of New York.
Yo.
Come on, kid, let's
but we
go.
used to. But you know what? If you lived on Staten Island anyway, you smelled
You
it
were used to
regardless,
it.
so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
But it was.
then.
I used to go to work with them all the time, and all those people know me from when. And some of them are still there. Very, very few of them. But I never, like you said, I never used that as, oh, can you help me? I never did because I always wanted to make them proud and my father because they knew me from when I was a little kid. You know?
So yeah, so out the gate though, as a trash man, did you feel like you wanted to? I'm not gonna do this my whole career. I got to move up.
Yeah.
So that was the move. Out the
Yeah,
gate.
I felt that not so much out the gate, but after like one cold winter and one really hot summer, seeing maggots in the pail and then being freezing to death on the back of a truck with certain someone on a midnight shift in Manhattan 1 ripping me through red lights on the step when we still had steps like legally.
Yeah,
people
yeah.
I got bounced off a few UPS trucks for people that couldn't drive. Like after those couple things, I was like, you know what? Like
Same for me.
I don't really
It's
know.
not-
if-
it's not for
I
everybody.
don't really know if I'm going to do this for 20 years. Like, so I took the foreman's test. I was young. 2 years and 8 months, I got promoted to foreman.
Yeah. How long were you up in the office when you then took the test?
I was only up in the office, and that was the advantage, right? Being up there, you could see, like, you were able to, like, see more paperwork. Like, I saw, like, teletypes
The test
more.
answers.
I saw things
Yeah,
like that. Yeah, there was, like, a little
basically.
red envelope, like Chinese Lunar New Year they give you. But
Cerrai answers.
No, but it actually gave me, we got a manual for my foreman's test. It was like this big. It was daunting to look at. I don't know if you remember that one from
Yeah.
like
I wouldn't think it was
2007.
that big, but
Well, all right. So look, check it out. Maybe that big, bro. I mean,
was
come on.
stupid, yeah.
It was
It
big.
was not worth it.
So what I did to study for that test was I took like one section at a time in a little binder. And the best thing that happened to me was for these tests, I still lived home. I wasn't married yet. I was 24 years old when I took the first test. So I was
on
literally
your-
in my bedroom at my mother's house studying for the test, one section at a time, and then I would write it in a notebook.
And then mommy would test you in the morning.
That's correct.
Let me see what you read last night.
That's correct.
Jerry.
Yeah, let me see, right? So what I did was I put that section away, and then when it was all done, I only went out of my notebook. I put that book away.
Yeah, you were done with
know?
that part.
That was it.
No, and listen,
know?
it's not for everybody, like you said.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like like me personally, that
Yeah.
wasn't for me.
Right.
I didn't want to be in an office. I dealt with it for a little bit. I got hurt, and I was a mailman up there in Manhattan for a bit. I just, not that I didn't like the guys. I just didn't like the way it was ran.
Yeah, and there's something to be
You
said
know?
about being outside too, like having the freedom of being outside and working
Exactly.
outside.
That's
It's
You're on
nice.
your own.
Yeah,
I
it's,
just
but it's
love,
also nice.
It's the best part of the job.
You get your route, you get your assignment for the day. As long as you do what you got to do, you're good. You know what I
And
mean?
plus, I saw what was up there. So,
Yeah.
and I'm not making fun of those guys, but
Yeah, I
you
understand.
go in at
Yeah.
$120,
Yeah.
you walk out at $450.
Yeah.
A lot of those
Yeah,
guys.
no.
You know, and,
Yeah.
and I saw it
Yeah.
firsthand, and I'm like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is going on in this part of the
Yeah.
job?
Yeah.
You know,
a lot of
and-
sitting
A
around.
lot of sitting
and
around, and I'm not for that.
Not staying
I'm not-
active.
I can't.
Right, 100%. And that's a slippery slope.
And then,
you know?
and like you say, when you're in the street,
Yeah.
there's no one around.
Nothing.
You're doing your
Right.
job.
As long as you're
Answer
doing
to
your job.
yourself.
Right.
You're your own boss out there.
That's
That's
it.
always
and,
the way I
and
look
there's
at it.
less after hours. There's less, you're doing
Kissing ass.
you're doing what you got to do right for the one day and you're done.
Exactly.
For the however many hours, it's not like you got to move on to the next maybe 10 things that you got piled up on your desk because it's totally different.
You got to have the head for it too
Yeah.
to deal with the bullshit of above you,
Yeah.
and not fucking lose your cool with them.
Of course.
Because I would watch these. What made me not want to become a foreman? Because I just watched all these guys get fucked with when we were in one.
Mm-hmm.
They would fuck with a supervisor, or even when I was in 3, like Patty Agnes was a fucking scared mess.
Yeah.
Because they continually knew he was like that. They fucked with him and fucked him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to deal with that. It was just easier for me to take my route, go out, finish in 3 hours, finish
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
in 2 hours, stay out all fucking day. Whatever the case may be.
There was definitely
I
more-
only answered to me.
Yeah, of course. And that's definitely the easier on stress and everything too. So, but the thing is, when you become a foreman, now you're not only responsible for you, right? You just
Yeah,
said it. You're
yeah.
responsible for everything that you have oversight with.
You're
now,
in charge of shit.
Fuck
Yeah,
that.
right. You're in charge, and with that comes accountability. You know what I mean? So if you're not doing your thing,
We all know what you're in charge of.
yeah,
Everybody isn't like him or like me that wants to work.
right.
You got guys that are fucked up.
Right.
You got guys that are just bitter.
Sure.
Guys that are just don't like you because you're fucking 22 as a supervisor
Yeah.
and are going to mainly just go out and fucking nail you.
Of course.
So I didn't want any part of that at all.
Yep.
I just wanted to cozy up next to Wayne and let him put me under his arm
Nice.
and take care of me.
That's it. I'll tell you, when the rubber met the road, though, was when I made superintendent. I made superintendent in 2011. I had 6 years on the job to the day. It was 9/12/05, 9/12/11. And it was only because I hit the foreman's test in 08. I was number 14 on that list, so I went first in the first class. Then
What's the chances of that happening? 2-2-2.
something happened. Something happened.
The
Some-
fuck
Yahtzee.
outta here.
Something happened where the superintendent's test, they threw it out because the one that happened the same year as my foreman's test, because something happened with the questions and somebody protested, so they threw it out. So then I was a foreman with a year. I had just studied all that shit, and then bang, the supers test came out.
And it's all the same
So I
stuff.
came out like list number 38 on that. And it just, the timing of it, if that test didn't happen, I might still be a foreman. Like, for
Yeah,
real.
because it
You
could
know
have
what I'm
been
saying?
2 or 3
Yeah.
more years.
I
and
might
then
still be
you
a
would have
foreman. I would have to restudy. Who
now
knows?
you're older.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
in 2011 when I got promoted, I was married and my son was just born.
Yeah.
Give that 3 more years. My son's 3
don't have
years
the
old.
time.
I don't know
Yeah.
if I have the time
Start
for that.
drinking more because you got kids now.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Heroin,
Life,
whatever.
yeah.
You don't know
Yeah,
what's going to
whatever
happen.
you can
Yeah,
find around
pills.
the corner.
Yeah, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Luckily for me,
Molly
I never
those
did,
days.
but you never know.
He didn't do pills, Mom. All right.
No, Mom, or heroin, Ma. That's a joke.
We're gonna
probably
make-
a bad joke. I'm gonna get yelled at for.
we're
but
gonna make-
I swear to God, look, there's no tracks.
We're going to make Marie and Junebug watch this episode
We should make
together.
them. You guys should make them come on. Just and you call the episode just 2 old bags having
If
tea.
my mother comes in, I'm going to grill her about her boyfriend.
Yeah?
I'm
Oh,
like,
no.
I want to know about this guy, Ma.
Yeah, let's take him out.
Did you ever find anything good behind the truck that you could take back to Mommy and be like, Mommy, look what I found? Because
I would never take my mother garbage.
It's a
all right?
cookie.
What?
Ever.
It's a cookie
It's
jar.
disgusting, bro.
you took something home. Oh, Ma. Oh, Dad, look, I found a Giants
I
helmet.
would never.
It's signed.
Let me see. I didn't talk like that when I was 23,
Jeff
bro.
Hostetler.
I didn't talk like that when I was 23.
It's a Hostetler hat, Dad.
Why am I like
Look
a
what I
5-year-old
found.
Asian child? Like,
Did you ever find anything good?
not really. Not that I can remember. Like,
Nothing?
that really sticks out. I will say that
A gun?
in SI1 we did vendor duty once or twice where we had
one?
Yeah, I was assigned to vendor duty where I had to go there and then
Where?
With
I
the
don't
cops.
with the
remember that.
police and Department of Health, and then you had to get like all the stuff on a rack truck, and there were certain times
Well, we
where
all
the
did
rack
it
truck
on the
would go
west
back.
side. On the west side, it was mostly.
Yeah.
No, but
because-
he's talking about Staten Island or M1.
Staten Island one.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
No, I did vendor duty there.
Yeah. There was,
As I remember,
they did, but not as much as Manhattan.
I guess by
Yeah,
like
it wasn't
the,
as
by the
much.
I remember
stuff.
well, Manhattan we did it too, and then
Manhattan, I remember doing
sometimes police would make you put things in a truck, and sometimes they wouldn't. So that was sometimes a fine, depending on what it was. But I never really found anything like in the garbage that I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. Like I never really, probably because I picked up garbage for like 5 seconds. I mean, let's be honest. I was only on the truck only on the truck for maybe 2 years, like a year and a half. Like really, what am I going to find?
Yeah.
But I know there's some guys that find some serious good stuff.
Yeah.
They got a whole museum in M11.
I know. I want to get that
Nelson
guy.
found.
Yeah. Can you? You know what? After this, you got to get me that guy's number.
I'll try to get it. Yeah, I don't have it, but I don't have it, but I could probably.
But you could probably
get
through because I
guys
definitely
can.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an interesting fella. I'm pretty sure he's retired.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Where is this museum?
Up in
Manhattan
M11.
11.
It's an entire floor of a building.
It used to be M11. I think now it's M11 moved to Potamkin, the old Potamkin dealer.
Yep.
Up on the highway. But now I think it's M8A and 11A is there now. It's a broom garage, but still that old building on 99th and York. I think it is 99th and York and 99th and First up there, right by the hospital. No, it's actually York and First. It's upstairs. You go up. It's all
shit
it's
he found
called.
on his
It's
own.
called
I've seen pictures
Treasure in
of
the
it and
Trash,
stuff.
bro. And it's like autographed baseballs by like really. It's really good stuff.
Like
It's not,
Babe Ruth.
I don't
There
know,
was
but
so much good stuff.
I can't say Babe Ruth,
Could
but
be Baby Ruth.
I can't say Babe Ruth, but you walk through there like when I used to be the
No, I
super
saw it. It
at
was on the
M11.
news one day.
Sometimes I would walk through
Yeah.
and take a look at it. Like you can't believe like what was in there, like what
Yeah.
people actually threw out, like
Oh, yeah.
antiques
In
and
Manhattan?
some really cool stuff.
In Manhattan, the only
Big
thing
money.
I remember,
Right.
yeah. Oh, they don't give a shit. I got a snowblower once from Manhattan.
Yeah.
It was still in the box.
Yeah.
Like you're not shoveling.
Or you got a
snow
hot
out here.
tub too.
Yeah, I got a hot tub
watch.
in Staten Island.
I watched.
Yeah. No, that was in Staten
I
Island.
watched the episodes.
Listen.
Staten Island.
When you work in Manhattan,
Yeah.
the choice thing that I remember was when because I was just filling in. I was never had my own routes, but when you would pull up to a building in M2 that somebody died, and they had to clear out the whole fucking apartment.
Yeah.
Those guys would be like, "We'll come back later." They would literally go through all the bags.
Yeah.
Because the super would put it out, put it separate.
Yeah.
Right. So say if this whole thing was the stop, the front of that stop was all from that apartment.
Right.
And they would go through it, and they would find.
And that was
shit.
like some poor soul that had nobody, and they were just
Yeah,
throwing
yeah.
their shit out.
I know a guy on the job that pulled up to a stop one day, and it was all like musical, like recording stuff, and like from an entire like a
Recording studio?
recording studio,
wow.
right? He literally told the building guy, he goes, what's all this? He's like, oh, it's garbage. He goes, no. Because he kind of
garbage, right.
knew stuff
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
He's like, no, do me a favor. Put this all inside. I'll come back and pick it out. And bro, he got like $8,000 for it. He sold it. It wound up being some like high-end musician that died.
Had no
And
family.
they had nothing. And he found someone to like, he put the name out. Like, and people were like, dude, they were fighting over it.
Right.
He's like, I probably could have got more. He's like, but I had no way to ship it. He's like, it was just so much stuff that it was just somebody
Imagine if
nearby.
that was today, and you could have the internet. And all
Well,
this
it wasn't too long ago. I'll say that. So it happens on the job.
Sure.
Like you say,
I
people
remember
die,
the
they
main
clean
thing
out.
that I remember them finding all the time was
When
the
Epstein-
carpets,
Yeah, when Epstein
What do you
went,
mean the carpets?
Kurt went.
Persian rugs and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Dude, they would bring them back to the garage just on a hunch. They would go to the dry cleaner, and I guess whoever, or they would go find out if it was worth money, and then they would tell them at the place, or antique store or whatever, if you have it professionally cleaned, it'll be worth this much more.
Well,
these guys would find Persian
yeah.
rugs that were worth $10,000 on a fucking rack.
At that point, if it's
what
worth
the fuck?
$1,000, you're in the black, right? So,
Bro, these guys,
but
I
10
was
grand
like,
is
that was the
insane,
main
right?
thing.
Yeah.
I remember them finding all the time. Like they would always bring in those carpets.
Where were
Yeah.
you picking up
You're in
garbage?
Manhattan, bro.
yeah.
You're in Manhattan. This ain't Staten Island where they're buying it at Home
I
Goods.
thought you worked in Chinatown.
Me?
Yeah.
No, but M2 did like Little Italy, the West Village, Chinatown. The part of Chinatown on the
West Village too. Some good,
I call
good stuff. Some big money down there with the
I
brownstones.
call it
Yeah.
I call it the good part of Chinatown because it was on the other side of the canal. You had it the real Chinatown,
Yeah.
the shit show.
Oh.
Yeah. Chinatown stuff.
Oh,
So what garages did you do as a foreman, or you didn't do any?
One thing I used to like was I used to go out and I actually worked with you guys in the winters. Sometimes I would come out in the winters from the waste disposal operations. I would come out in the winters. They would dispatch us to garages to be foreman in the snow. And I liked that. And I used to go out in a green uniform. And one of the chiefs down there yelled at me one time. He goes, "You got to buy tan uniforms." I said, "I don't want tan." He's like, "Why?" I said, "No offense, but when I go there, they tell me go stand in the corner. I don't want to stand in the corner. I want to wear the green. I want to get in there and work."
Yeah.
So I would always come in and I would always be the last one to go back to the building because I had no seniority. So I stayed out there long. I would like be involved in chasing collection and stuff like that. So it always gave me a little bit of a idea from that perspective for the street.
So you stayed in the office in that spot as a foreman?
Yes, but then I went out in the
Just
winters.
in the winters. Yeah. But
Staten
I'm just
Island,
saying.
Brooklyn South. But yes, I stayed there.
So that spot you had was for a sand worker and then just became a foreman spot?
No, I was a sand worker there. And then I was actually slated to go, or at least I was guessing I was slated to go to Staten Island 1, section something or other, out of class as a foreman.
Okay.
The night before that happened, I received a phone call and it said, "Hey, so-and-so, he just called me. He's
made
retiring.
super.
He's leaving. So do you want to come back and work for me?"
Oh, yeah.
And I said, "I would love to work for you because you're great." But he says, "You sure you want to come back here though? You don't want to go out there and learn the right?" I said, I want to stay with you. I'll work with you. So I stayed there.
Okay.
You know,
Cozy it up to him like I did to Wayne. Like you got under
that's
his,
it. Well, when
his
we
wing.
mentioned him before, when you have a great boss and he asks you if you want to stay with him, you stay with him because he's great. He's great to work for. He's great to work with. You
great
know what
to
I mean?
learn.
And what year was this?
2008.
Who was up there in 08?
That was 2008.
Is he still on the job?
Who?
The guy you're talking about?
No.
All right.
No, it's the guy we mentioned earlier, the double M's.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
He
yeah.
called-
He was up there.
He called me and I said,
There's
of
only-
course I want to stay with you. He was the best boss ever. Like, why would I not? You know
Did
what I
the
mean?
other guy retire?
Which one?
The last man standing from the dump. Did he retire or he's still on?
Oh, he's still there. Yeah, he's still there.
Capo.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, he's still there.
Yeah, no.
He's the last man
He
standing.
was supposed to retire 7 years ago. When
No,
he
he's
didn't
still
get
there.
The,
Listen,
the commissioner spot.
How many years does he have? 45?
Nah,
No, he's not
30
that
something.
high. Yeah.
Well,
He's
he
not
was
that
on when
high.
your father was on.
Yeah, 30 something.
Yeah?
Yeah, 30 something years. Yeah, I know it's over 30. Yeah, but yeah, man.
So you got a cushy spot, pretty much.
Yeah, I
coming
was
out as a
in an
foreman.
office. I was out of the elements. Yeah, 100%. But I learned the waste disposal side of it again. You know, seeing how things were done on the back end of that. So
And it only now helps you, like you said,
Yeah.
to now take the next test.
to understand more. Right, exactly.
Remember what I said?
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
Something like that.
Well, you in the right place at the right time,
What,
number one.
You're running on the treadmill again?
Well,
boom, 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 boom.
No, you were at the right place at the right time.
yeah, timing is everything. Like I said, if those tests weren't back to back, 2-star, who knows, man? Who knows why I would have stopped? I mean, I stopped at
but
foreman.
Honestly,
You know what I mean?
you got your 401k or 457, whatever you got right now.
Yeah.
I think 15% of that goes to your father because without his hooks, you would have been at Staten Island 1 with us, schlepping garbage, and that was it. He helped you out.
He
Take care of the old man.
He got me through the door, but I took the tests. Maybe I gave him 7.5%. You know, 7.5%.
Percent's a percent.
Right? I mean,
Something,
7.5 is good.
Yeah, that's
7.5 is big money.
Yeah.
So
You know?
when you became a supervisor,
Yeah.
coming out the gate, were you like, this is the right thing, I made the right move? Or were you like, maybe I made a mistake, should I go back?
I don't know. Nah, I never looked back because, you know, I was still young. I still, you know, I didn't have much to say, oh, I made a mistake because I only had 2 years and 8 months on the job. So for me,
Yeah.
it was just like, and then I went right from an office position in those last 6 months and kind of stayed where I was, but in a different role.
Yeah.
So it was a little hard learning how to become, because now I have to become a manager, right? I'm in charge of, like we talked about before, other people. I'm in charge of an operation, following up, making sure things are done. So that was the hardest part. I think that's always the hardest, that is the hardest leap, no matter where you are. From worker to that first management level is probably the hardest part because you have to separate yourself. Not separate yourself,
No,
but
you do.
But you have to not really separate yourself because you could still
Be good to the guys.
be good to the guys, but you have to know when that comes to the point where they're taking advantage and you got to pull that back and you have to really
And try not to do it douchey.
right and take the feeling
and be an asshole.
Right.
Yeah,
I seen
And
I
take
seen
the
guys
and
get
take,
burned.
and
Hurt
take the
feelings on
feeling
either
out of
way.
it. Right.
Yeah.
But on your side, you got to take the feeling out of it because guys will come to you and say, how could you do that to me? I'm like,
God,
you did that to yourself, bro. I'm
And
you
I
know.
remember you coming in the
gotta
winters
do what
and,
you gotta
and,
do.
and I would just tell you, Jay, don't even bother.
Right.
Like, I'd rather be out front with you. Like,
Right.
I'm not going to listen to you.
Right.
So it is what it is. And I've done that with plenty of foremen. It's
Yeah.
not just you.
Right.
It's all of them. Like,
Right.
you, I know guys that are still on the job that are foremen.
Right.
Where I knew they didn't want to be on the truck, and now they're going to come tell me what to do.
Right.
Get out of my face.
Right.
Just
See
don't
ya.
even worry
Right.
about it. Like, I'm going to do my job. Just leave me alone.
Yeah. And you always did your job.
Yeah. And no, but it was like, I'd rather just tell you outright,
Right.
you know, and then you would come and chase me and just typical, you know.
Right. Yeah.
But it was more so like, no, I just want to hang out.
Right.
Like when I would see you during snowstorms.
That's it.
Like,
Right.
what do you want?
Right,
Like,
because we
what
had
the
a
fuck do you want?
relationship. I knew you were going to do
You
what
jump
you had
in
to
the
do.
truck and be like, oh, let's drive around.
You were never going to do anything to let me get hurt.
No.
Right. And I knew
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
But there's guys like that you have relationships with that you can trust, right?
Yep.
But then it's
There's
the
others that are
people.
going to take advantage.
Listen,
Right.
I've seen guys
Exactly.
get beat on that deal too, being too nice. Nunzio
yeah.
Gaglio was possibly one of the nicest foremen I've ever had in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Great guy, and you would see, like, guys would take advantage of that shit. And then he had Nunzio's getting 10-day rip, 5-day
Listen,
rip.
you know what it comes down to?
Because you're so nice to these guys, and they don't understand. Like, he has a fucking. I used to tell supervisors straight up, bang me.
Yeah.
I got no
you have
problem
a
with
job
it.
to do.
If I did something to be a dick, and I don't want to hang you up, bang me.
Right.
I'm a big boy. I know I wasn't supposed to be doing it. Bang
Right.
me. And I would let him take the hit, man. I never got mad about it.
Well, look,
Guys would get mad. You come back from trials. What'd you get? I got 15 days for not being home all these fucking days. They held 2 years worth of shit. Fuck that, stay out. Get fuck. I go, for what? I didn't come home.
right.
I wasn't probably home 70 days.
You got caught doing something wrong. For
Yeah.
all the
So
times you
that's
probably
the
got
way-
away with it, take your medicine.
That's
right?
the way I
was
looked at
always
it.
it.
Fuck,
Right.
I'm a big boy. He's the same way as me. If
Right.
we fucked up, fuck it, hit me. Go ahead.
That's
but
it.
guys would take advantage of nice guys. And like what you were saying, learning how to balance that, it's not so easy.
Yeah, but it comes down
It's
to
not that easy to balance it.
right, and it comes down to like if you're in school, and you gotta somebody takes your lunch money the first day.
Yeah.
You're gonna let him keep taking it,
No.
or you're gonna hit him in the mouth.
No, you
You
gotta
know,
hit him in the
it's figurative. You're not gonna hit people in
gotta
the
hit 'em
mouth.
in the mouth.
But if you don't hit somebody in the mouth or hold them accountable
I agree.
immediately,
I agree.
they're gonna take your lunch money forever. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, no.
you have to, and it removes the feeling of it. I tell people all the time, even in the new job, if they get caught doing something, hey, it's not
Listen.
it's not personal, it's business, right? We have a business to run no matter what we're doing.
Without a doubt.
And if ever you're not doing your job, you're gonna be accountable to it, just like I am. But my family's gonna eat because I'm gonna do my job, right?
I don't disagree with any of that.
And you can't take that home with you.
I never had a problem. I never had a problem with people being fair to each other.
Right.
And that's all I asked for.
Yeah.
Now, when you were on the job, when you got made super, you were originally in the dump in an office when you got supervisor,
Yes.
correct?
Correct.
When you got promoted to superintendent,
Yes.
did you ever have a district? I believe it was 4, correct?
I had a
You
couple.
4?
I had a couple.
All right, where were you? Where'd you go first?
I started as Manhattan rotating officer, and that was the best time of my career for me to learn. In my opinion, was almost 4 years, just about 4 years I spent as a super in Manhattan. What the best 4 years for my career. Learning the job, learning what I felt was the right way, learning from a lot of good people. I went in there as a rotating officer. I worked as a night borough super fill-in for quite some time on like the midnight to 8. We were in charge of the whole city. That was scary in the beginning.
Yeah.
But I dug in, I learned, I leaned on the people. Like I didn't go in there like, oh, I'm the super, you got to listen to me. No, I leaned on the people that worked there to like help me and show me how things worked, right?
Well, Manhattan is where the job is real.
Exactly.
We always say that.
100%. And then
So-
I ended up getting Manhattan 3. I had that during Sandy. That was fun. And then after that, I had Manhattan 4 for a very brief time, maybe 3 months, and then I finished up in Manhattan 7 for
Yeah.
like the last 2 years
I
as a
used you
super.
for that when I went to a
Would
play.
you park a car or something? Yeah,
Yeah, you were like,
Yeah.
I come in.
Everybody
I pull
parked
my-
their
I pull my
cars,
car.
yeah,
They're like, you
57th
can't park
Street,
here.
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, my cousin's the super here.
Right.
Who's your cousin? I go, Cerrai. He goes, oh, you can park
So
there.
you got into 7 when they got the new building, or were you out on
Yeah.
the
No. It was the new building
the
by
new
then.
building.
When I had 4 and 7, it was the new building already. And I finished my career there in Manhattan as a super in M7. I was there for like 2 years. And I asked for M7. And I remember the borough super said, can I have 7? Because I knew Tommy was leaving and he was transferring to Brooklyn South. So I was downstairs in 4 and I called up and I said, hey, called the borough super. I said, yo, Tommy's leaving. Can you give me 7? He goes, you want 7? I'm like, yeah. He's
Yeah, I
like,
remember
Are
when
you
you were
crazy?
there. Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, no, I want it. I want to go up there. I guess everybody thought it was a madhouse, but
It's a great place to work.
No,
It
they
was-
were all workers up there.
Right.
I knew a few guys up
it
there.
was
Kevin Mann.
I liked it. Yeah, right.
Kev was my
The
guy.
best. Yeah, it was definitely good. It was very those 4 years were a very good part of my life. I really enjoyed working in Manhattan as a super. I really enjoyed Manhattan 7, the guys there, the relationships I made, and some of we butt heads, even the button heads and the arguing. Like I even
always
enjoyed
gonna
that. You know what I mean? Like those guys were great. Those guys and girls were great. I had some really good times in Manhattan, and I'm grateful for that. That super spot was very, very good, man.
Great place to learn.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah. So did you through your career? Did you always deal with the oh, your dad got you this, your dad got you that, or just pretty much it faded out because all the guys that he worked with kind of faded off the job as well?
Pretty much. I mean, it's funny you say that because I had somebody say to me. Now I'm recalling it because you mentioned it a little bit earlier. There was a foreman in Manhattan 1 when I first got there that said something not off color, but something about my father, and I kind of got in his face and said, whatever I had to say. And
protecting him.
And that ended. He didn't say anything bad. He kind of called him lazy in an indirect way because the guy had worked in Fresh Kills with him. And I didn't really like that too much.
Yeah.
And
Is
that
he still around? Can we go kick his ass?
if you want, we'd probably look him up. Yeah, I mean, he's probably 90 now, 80.
That'll be easy. Kurt, you can kick his ass.
Yeah, without a doubt.
You can't kick my
Bro,
ass. You could kick his
couple
ass.
treadmill stomps, it's over. Boom, boom, boom. All you got to do is
Bro, I roll up, I
do
roll
that
up in
shit
the
out of
Chevy
him.
pickup, roll the tinted window down, and I just go,
Guy'll shit his pants.
Yeah.
Look, I swear to God.
Kurt will probably shit his pants
Yo,
too.
you remember what you said? Remember what you said in 05, bro? Remember what you said in 05?
About my unkie?
Right. But no, that was the one time that I remember somebody saying something that actually
You didn't appreciate.
that actually got to me, that I felt like I had
yeah.
to, because you defend people you care about even when they're not in the room,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
So that, especially your father. So
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I probably overreacted a little bit, but I made it very clear that I wasn't cool with that. But it never really got to that. It was never like, oh, your dad did this for you, because by that time, I was already
made your
making my
name.
own bones and you know, showing that I was there to work and
yeah.
you know,
That makes sense.
What star did you retire with?
two assistant chief. Yeah.
Second part of the question: where was your favorite place to work as a chief?
Oh man.
Tread lightly, my friend. Tread lightly.
Man, that's tough. That's a tough question because
It's not a tough question. It's a very simple question.
no, there's two places that I liked a lot, but I will say, and people are gonna think I'm crazy, Staten Island was great. Staten Island was great. Staten Island's up there.
Staten Island where?
Being in Staten Island 3 is up there, and a lot of people say, oh, you're nuts. The place is a madhouse. Until you work there as a manager, you will never know what it really takes to run that place.
Yeah.
And there's a reason that there's a chief there. You were with me there every day.
I loved it.
I was there during COVID. It was scary, unknown. Nobody knew what was going on. We were setting up ways to make the workforce safe with something we never dealt with. So it was very stressful. But at the same time, it was great. You know what I mean? And it was a challenge because when I went into Staten Island as a deputy chief, the borough super sat me down. First, I had Staten Island 1, and then I guess he got to know me a little bit because he saw guys coming from BWD and didn't really like him at first with a background like that. And then I made bones with him, and then he came to me and said, I'm going to put you in 3. So when I walked in, you walk into 3, you ever see Shawshank?
Yeah.
When Tim Robbins walks in and they're all shaking the fence and shit. You're like, that's the
Fresh meat.
That's not what it is, but that's what people paint it to be.
Yeah.
So if you allow that place or a place like that to be something like that in your head,
It'll
that's
eat
what
you up.
it is.
Yeah, it'll eat
but
you up.
I never took places like that. You know, I figured, hey, I went and spoke to a couple people that were important to that place before I went there. We had conversations about what I'm going to be about and what we're going to do, and everything was great. I think it was a great marriage. I spent a long time there.
I think you were probably, you and Stevie, the two best ABSs to ever be in that place.
Yeah, that means a lot, man. Thank you.
Because the chaos.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Let me tell you, just to be able to have conversations with what goes on there.
Yeah.
With the stewards, and then respecting you.
Yeah.
And being honest with you about what they were going to do.
Yep, and doing things for you when they didn't want
to.
Or when it went against what they believed in.
But that says a lot about your character.
Right.
So, trust me, a lot of ABSs came in there and got shit on.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And didn't know what to do because
they allowed it.
Well, they handle it wrong.
Right. They allowed it by their behaviors and right.
You know what I mean?
Act in a certain way.
Listen, the whole job knows it. If you're still on this job or you recently retired, you know what Staten Island 3 was about. Pete Tucciarelli was fucking famous for being what he was.
Yep, definitely.
And you had to manage that. And that's not an easy thing to manage. I give you a lot of credit for that. And you did it really well.
Thank you.
Because those guys respected you.
Well, that's it. And there were times, I'm gonna be honest with you, there were times in there where a select few people, more than one person, tried to test me physically or yell at me or say something off color in front of people.
Yeah.
And I went right back. And that's the thing. I actually walked multiple times down the hall.
Yeah,
and a person turned around and I was right here and said, "Is there something you want to say?" Because in a place like that where the
it's volatile.
tempers get like that, sometimes you have to show that side of yourself, just to, like the lunch money thing, just to like, hey, you ain't gonna take my lunch money every day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
we're gonna talk, we're gonna be men, we're gonna work this out, men and women, we're gonna work this out, but I'm not gonna be railroaded, I'm not gonna be ran over.
You're not going to take advantage of me.
Yes, I respect you, but I gotta get some too. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So
Yeah.
but I thought, the way that ended, I wish it would have ended a little differently. I ended up getting pulled out of there and put into Brooklyn South. Didn't see that one coming.
They did it to everyone. Did the same thing to Stevie.
Yeah, didn't see that one coming, but ultimately it ended up working out. So
All right. So the process of the interview system.
yes,
We had Fasano on,
Yeah.
and he was telling us like it's a kind of pick of the litter. Is this the guy? And sometimes you have guys in there that don't agree, and they may say, "No, fuck this kid."
Yeah.
His father screwed me 15 years ago.
Sure.
So what is that process like to get into the stars? And did anyone know your father that helped it or hurt it? Because you got promoted in your first interview process?
On the 1-star, not the 2-star.
I was going to, so the 1-star.
Excuse me. Yeah, so the 1-star, the promotion process when we were younger on the job, all of us, was your borough super would pick like 2 candidates from super that they wanted to put up for 1-star.
Okay.
And they would nominate their people. Then they made it, I don't know when, but every time I had gone for it, they made it where you could put your own resume in and put yourself up for it. So I ended up putting myself in, ended up getting promoted in August of 15. I guess the boards or the interviews were sometime in, I don't know, July, whatever, early August. I go for the first interview, and it's a room with a long table, and it's like maybe 10 chiefs sitting around it. I might have recognized in that room, actually in that room, I don't think I recognized any faces. And Stevie Montanino, before I knew him, was at the head of the table. Before I worked for him, thank you, was at the head of the table. And they went around, they asked you questions. What's your best day on the job? What's your worst day on the job? Stevie asked me, I'm in Staten Island. I have 30-something spreaders to get out. How are you going to help me make my dispatch faster? Like some really well thought out questions that you really had to think about. And I left that room and I didn't even want it, the 1-star. I didn't even put in my resume.
Because they put you up for it.
And one of my deputy chiefs called me. I loved M7. I loved it there. I was going to stay there.
yeah.
Perfect view of the water. I loved the town. I knew the area. I loved driving around, checking things.
Yeah, you're right.
I had a great rapport with the
spot.
guys. I'm a super. I'm making good money. I was going to stay there and then transfer to Staten Island and finish my career as a super. That was my plan. One of my deputy chiefs called me and he goes, "Yo, I see a lot of resumes up here. I don't see yours." I said, "Well, I don't have a superior number 1 evaluation." I said, "And I don't really want it." He's like, "Send your resume in, you're an idiot." And he hangs up the phone. My wife, who worked at the eye doctor still, one of my old foremen, Joey Accardo, great guy, Joe, used to make me move the Snapple machine and sweep underneath it in Manhattan 1, but taught me hard work. Joey said to my, Joe used to make me move it and sweep underneath. But he was a pain in the ass, but he was a pain in the ass with a reason for it. He always taught me to go the extra mile. Joe was very good, always very good to me. He said to my wife, "How's your husband doing?" And she said, "He's not. Is he putting in for chief?" "No, he's not." He called me that same day that the chief said, "You better fucking put it in. Are you out of your minds? Biggest mistake I ever made." So I put it in against my own will.
Yep.
I walked out of that room in the first interview, and it was like when I did comedy when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
I killed the room. I felt that they were eating out of my hand. Like it was just one of those days where
You said the right stuff.
I just felt good. And I
Got
was
all the
scared
answers.
shit when I went in there.
Yep.
But I walked out of there and one of the chiefs at the end of the table went like this to me and smiled. I said, and that's when I felt like, wow, you know what? I'm going to make it to the next round. Because it's like 24 guys and girls and then they cut you down to 12. So I'm definitely going to make it to the next round.
I didn't even know that. They really fuck with you, huh?
Then I get to the 12.
It's like American Idol.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So I get to the 12.
You're going to Hollywood.
That's it, right? Pretty much gold glitter everywhere, right? But I ended up getting to the 12, and I went in the room, and I had another, like, just really, I felt good. And in that room, there were people who had a little bit more of a familiar face in the second room. But there was also a lot of people in that room that didn't have a familiar face. So as much as you would think sitting in that room, and like, let's say, Wayne, I know you for 20 years, you're in that room on a job interview. You may make me feel comfortable, but the minute I look away from you in that room with those nerves, like there's 8 or 10 other people, it's like you're not, even that doesn't make you comfortable.
Well, I'm wondering if they set it up like that, right? So they want guys that do know you and not know you, because they're gonna, if they put, say, 18 people in there or 12 people in there,
well, it's the same.
No one
it's
knows.
the same people for everybody.
Yeah.
So it just so happens. Do you know that 2-star?
Exactly.
Did you used to work
So
with
the
that
next
guy?
person's going to know the other 8, and not know the 8 you.
Right. So does it help you if you worked with somebody? Yeah, probably, because even if you're nervous, they're going to know your character and how you perform when you work. But if you're nervous in that room and the other 7 people never worked with you, you're going to get a bad score.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
Do you feel you are nervous because you didn't want it? Like, technically, you really didn't want it?
I honestly think
so.
that
You would basically just like, whatever happens, happens.
That's a great
And
way
that's
to
the way
put
you
it.
should go into
You
it
know?
anyway.
Yeah, I went in thinking, you know what? I want nothing to do with this. I'm
that's
good.
what it is. Yeah.
And I ended up nailing it, and I got it
good.
like with the first 4. Me and 3 other people got it,
Yeah.
and ended
You
up
and
going
Mark. Mark got it too, right?
Mark,
Who got it when you got it?
me, Anthony Bianco, Adrenia Burgess or Adenia Burgess, and Ranjit Raghabi got it. The 4 of us.
Reggie.
Double
Wait,
R.
who out of your friends,
Yeah,
who's the chief?
I don't know. A lot of
Mark?
them.
Was Mark? What did Mark become?
Who's this Mark?
Giovanelli.
Who's this Mark you speak of? He's a foreman.
And what about his brother?
Steven's a foreman too.
And then Joe is a super.
Joe Albanese?
Yeah.
Super.
Moochie's kids.
Never on a job.
Never on the job.
Who am I thinking of that was, who coached at Farrow? Tom Peters.
Is he having a stroke?
Check his blood pressure.
Who coached football at Peters?
Oh, Sika.
Sika.
You're good friends with them too,
Tommy
right?
Sika, yeah.
Now, did
And
one
Rob.
of them become a chief?
Tommy.
Around the same time as you? Or?
Yes. Tommy was hired on the 1-star the same as me. He was like maybe a few people later than me.
That's what I'm saying. When the Teletype came out, I remember seeing you.
Yeah.
And I thought
I was
Sika too.
part of the first group, and Tommy was like off of that interview though.
Yeah, yeah.
He was just like in the next like month or two when a couple
okay.
more spots
So
opened
I
up.
thought it was all on the
Tommy
same
was like right
Teletype.
behind me, like maybe a month or a few weeks.
Because you guys were all tight, right?
Yeah. I'm still tight with Tommy. Tommy's a good kid. And then we ended up both making 2-star and leaving as 2-stars with the same COB, by the way.
So
Sorry,
I
I'm
wanna go
airing
a
your
little-
business out, Tom.
I want to go a little off here. And just more so for the people that are watching, that are sand workers out there, just to get a, so, and you can answer this any way you want.
Sure.
Because from being in the street for 20 years,
Yeah.
we always felt there was a disconnect between the guy doing the job
Yeah.
and the guy in the office.
Yeah.
Whether it was the way routes were put together, whether it was the way snow stuff was put together.
Sure.
Like, how do you feel like, almost like it could be fixed? Is there a way you think it could be fixed? And I'm not talking about get everybody together, kumbaya, let's have a barbecue, because that never works out anyway.
Yeah.
I just always felt there was a disconnect to the higher rankings because like I said, I dealt with the guys and they always looked down on people. They would come out to the street in the snow, be tough with guys, where it's like the guy that's doing the job, you're now turning off.
You're shutting them down. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
now
100%.
you're being a jerk off when the guy's working really, really hard. Like, did you ever feel that way? Like when you got up to a point where you would go out now, you have 2 stars on your shirt, and now you're thinking people are looking at you different. Like, did you ever feel that way?
Sure. There's definitely that's a big part of the culture where workers at the I want to say ground level, in the garages, and then you have operations and all these other avenues doling out the orders. I think the problem is the message, right? And the sending the message, all the people who are going out to the street, the 2-star facilities and operations was going out there to deal with the women and the men. Is he stopping and saying hello and good morning to them, telling them why he's there, what he's looking for, what she's looking for? Are we telling them why we do everything? Yeah, we're going to put out this new procedure within the next month, whatever that is, and we're going to try it out in these 5 districts. Are we saying why we're doing that? I think a lot of the problem is a disconnect on both sides. Either we're not explaining it, a little bit of we're not explaining it clearly enough from here all the way down.
Yep.
and it's not being carried, and then it's not being received the right way here. And one or two people here get their own idea about it, and then it spreads like cancer. Where instead of it being, you know,
and it's both ways too, because there's also people on the ground level picking up garbage that feel like the guys in the office aren't doing the work.
100%.
But I get it. But they are. Because I do know guys that work in the office, and it's like you say, it's stressful. So that's what I'm saying. There's a disconnect between both ends, because just as hard as it is picking up the trash and going through that in the hot, shitty days, there could be just as well at the top a guy that's super stressed the fuck out behind the desk and all that. Yeah. And I think there's just a spot where it just gets lurky. Where
and that's the why. The why is very big. Like even now in my new position and any job I'm in, right? If I'm in any type of manager role, I want to tell you, hey, I'm not just gonna come out and go, yo, go do this. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you why I want to do that. Yeah. And then we could talk about it. You could tell me, hey, why don't we do it like this? And then I'm gonna tell you, this is why, you know, and we're gonna have a conversation and everybody's gonna understand why we're doing it. You know, and I think they made a better, in my opinion, from when I started to when I finished, I think there are a lot of people, not that there ever wasn't, but I think there are a lot of people in the positions that they need to be right now in that department that aren't afraid to make decisions and call shots and get that information down. So I think they're in a very good place right now. That's my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you
and
feel...
it wasn't always that way.
Wasn't
always that way. You know what I mean?
But you don't feel that when you are coming up with these new ideas and new stuff that's going on that we're implementing, because we're the garbage men, right? So we're the ones that got to do the work. You don't feel that you guys should talk to the sanitation, at least the stewards, and say, listen, we're thinking of doing this. What do you guys feel? How do you think the men will react? There was always
because
I don't ever remember any of that happening ever. Even when with a lot of times with rewriting routes, we basically took it upon ourselves, and did it behind closed doors and reroute.
I did it with the guys in 3. We redid truck numbers, routes, everything. But on our own.
Like what I'm saying is, when you're implementing new systems, bosses, chiefs up in Manhattan, how come they don't reach out to stewards, at least to every one garage steward from every district, and bring them up? This is what we're gonna do. What do you guys feel? How do you guys think about it? You know what I mean? I think that's a fair thing, because
great question.
Because the whole workforce is the one that's implementing, you know, carrying out what you're implementing.
So you might see something that somebody who's been out of your position for so many years promoted, or in a different position in your same rank, that doesn't see that, right?
Yeah.
But I will say now, I don't know since you guys been gone if this ever happened, but they do have, from what I understand, some type of like panel of like stewards from certain, I guess whenever they want to. What's the word I'm looking for? Whenever they want to pilot something, they do bring 831 in.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And they do get opinions, and
they might have in the back in the day, but it just seemed like it never.
It might not.
So let's just put it this way: if I can think of how the job was ran when we were on it, I wouldn't doubt it if they would bring in, just say, Manhattan guys. Hey, you know what? They're here anyway. Why are we going to bust guys in from Staten Island, Queens, Brooklyn? And then they ask them the questions. And we all know sitting here that the garbage is totally different in Manhattan down to the Staten Island streets.
Yeah.
So it always felt like it was just put out wrong. I remember the spreader situations and all that, with all the time, like they would change, like they would change the routes. And I've spoke about it. Like, you're like, these are mentally, whoever's writing these, they're doing it in June and not in the winter. These are not the way these routes should be done. And they never physically... I was brought to CRS real quick because they gave us the hydraulic trucks. They were going clean air, all that bullshit. So I was brought by Bosch. I was one who had one in Staten Island. And Bosch brought me in. And I literally told them, stick to dishwashers. We've almost got killed with this fucking truck. Just get it off the street. We can't have it. They wound up putting it in Staten Island 3, I think. Because it can't be on hills. But... that's when I felt like, hey, they actually do care about our input. It was the only one time on the job.
They definitely do.
20 years.
They definitely do. It all depends on who you're dealing with or who you're talking to, right? But they should care about the input of the workforce, because those are, I always said it, in every rank since the beginning to the end, the wheels on a bus are the workers.
Exactly.
And if those wheels go flat, you don't have anything. But they, you know, if they take the input, it helps, but it all depends, like, with the routes, you said, right? I'm just trying to remember where I wanted to go with that. With the routes, I wanted to touch on something you said.
Yep.
So it all depends on the borough staff that you're working for, right? So I know if let's just say I'm a borough super. I never ended up being a borough super, but if I was a borough super or a deputy chief and I have like 3 districts and I get brand new snow routes, I'm going to make sure we look at those before it snows. I'm going to give it to my stewards. I'm going to give it to my players that I know the district really well. Hey guys, look at these with me. Do we see any issues? I'm going to have them ridden, tested out. Is this going to
work?
Yeah, is this going to work? Because if it's not, I want to know ahead of time, right? So that's always the intention, I think, from the top when changes are made. But every branch, as it delineates down to the force, it could get worse and worse if there's not as much care given all the way down.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Handing it off. If it's just handing it off all the way down, like Fasano said it. You know, there was a street on Staten Island that was listed on our routes, but meanwhile it was a parking lot for a college.
Right.
We can't go in there. So why is this here? But they were calling about it.
Right.
Like that's my thing with the job. It's like no, I'm not going to say
all
they
that
don't
shit
care.
should be settled during a mock snowstorm anyway.
Well, that's the thing too, right? That's when you should be.
That's
looking
why you
at
have a mock snowstorm.
But I will say, my opinion,
that should have been taken off from that point.
Yeah, that sectoring and everything that they did, everything response time got much faster. Like everybody that's married to a route, and then when the truck stays with the route throughout the storm, that definitely made everything go much faster. You know, where
to me it just seemed like made it fucking worse.
Well, listen, that's a matter of opinion. You know what I mean?
No, I get what you're saying, time wise and efficiency.
Yeah. But efficiency wise,
there's
like
5 trucks coming down the same fucking block. It's retarded.
But all right, so now this is where I'm going to be truthful and honest about it.
Be honest,
sure, of course, that's what we're doing.
So it's all not you, and it's not even Jerry. It's the job itself. So what the job needs to understand, those guys up in the office that write these routes, they switched all these numbers and yada yada when we were on the job.
Right.
What they don't realize is the smart guys that are in the districts, like a Fasano, like a Cipriano, who said, you know what, I can't deal with this right now. It's snowing right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's funny you say that.
So the point of it is, all right, you know what, Owen gets Cerrai. Get out.
Yeah.
You do the hills in 11. You do the hills in 12.
Yeah. And that's when it was being born.
But that's not told.
Right.
See, that's the problem.
Right.
That's where the disconnect is to now the guy up top who thinks his route's a fucking genius.
Yeah.
And the guy in the garage that knows how he has to do it.
Yeah.
So
he knows to make sure he doesn't miss certain spots.
We have to get these. We had Fasano said it. He got yelled at by the commissioner.
Yeah.
Why are you spreading so? Because he knew if he didn't do it, you weren't going to get down those streets.
Well, you could always, and I saw that in his episode too, but you could always you take what they're giving you, but you could always run your ship
the way you want.
Exactly the way you need to, tailor-made, because if you're running that ship, you're using what they're giving you, all right, great, but you need to know, hey, listen, where are those ferry areas? What routes are those on?
They're the 13th line. The ferry's the 13th line. And if you got to that and there's 8 inches, you're fucked.
So at that point, that's where, the borough's, the superintendent or the deputy chief is going to say, hey, we're going to move. Guys, I know it's 13. Yeah. Do that first and then go. That's all, that's a thinker, right? So I think that's definitely necessary. And you can't beat experience. You can't beat it. And I always, even the new job I'm in now, I have the guys and girls there, I lean on them. I ask them, I don't know the lay of the land there as well. Now, almost 4 months in, I understand it a lot better, but I'm not going to go in there, oh yeah, big 2-star chief from New York, got to listen to me, oh yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I'm cousins with Getz.
Yeah, right, Getz is my cousin, he rides treadmills and he's a werewolf,
A Wolverine, dick.
Right, so...
No, and that's what I'm saying. I just wanted to get that out and get that out to the sanitation workers.
It also works the same way, Wayne. Me and you are a lot alike, where you would get the route, right? When it snowed, I would look at it, I'd be like, what the fuck? I'm going here, here, and here, and here. And then when I would get the phone call, why are you not doing it this? Because I know what's got to be done first.
But to all the girls and guys out there, and I will warn you now, if you have a boss that is doing that, okay? There's a lot of twisting between bosses. So now you could get a 2-star chief like yourself to come into a district and catch a guy that's on, just say, Route 1. Yeah. And now he's not where he's supposed to be. But the super didn't tell the 2-star because the 2-star is just driving around and nobody knows.
Sure.
That's
where the super's got to stand up and say, I told him to do that.
Well, I warn to everyone what I used to do, and I remember with Cipriano and Fasano. Write it on the top of the page.
Sure.
Always. Put it right here.
If you're ordered to do something,
do this
hit
first.
the 120. Hit all of Victory Boulevard.
Yeah.
Do it because that's the way I always saw it. Yeah. Write it on the page, and then I'll go to my route.
But even that comes down to communication, right? Everybody talking to each other, because if that's really priority at that level, that's where that borough should be talking to that office that makes those routes and saying, hey, wait a minute. Right.
Because who doesn't get along with each
Right,
other?
and
now
that's-
they're coming out to fuck with their
that
guys.
nonsense gets in the way. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's where the disconnect becomes
Yeah.
an issue because they don't like each other.
Sure.
So now there's going to be
And
issues
it becomes
with
something
the guys.
that it
Personal.
shouldn't. Yeah.
And then it flips over, and now the guys are now telling this guy, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now we're all slowing down.
Fuck
and now
you, so I was staying out.
I started working with a certain chief before I left, right? Great guy to work with. And he was an OAU supervisor that was part of those routes when they started happening.
What's OAU?
Yeah.
It's like it's the people that make the routes. OMD, OAU. I'm not sure what they really stand for. That's the people that
Yeah.
they do the mapping, the routes, all of that stuff.
He should be fired. But go ahead, go.
He says when we start bullshitting or whatever about our careers, and I always knew him, and I forgot this, but he remembered. I was the super in M7. It's about to snow. I always had like routes and packages ready for any storm,
Route
whether it was
package,
plow
yep.
C. I always had so many of them, way more than I ever needed. And my foreman knew that when they took one or two out, they better be putting them back in there,
Yeah.
because we have to be ready for the next one, right? Just over prepared, OCD,
had to
right?
be.
So all of a sudden, it's about to snow later that night. We're getting ready for like the biggest snowstorm in the history of me being the super. Like, I'm like, oh, it's the big one that's gonna make or break me, right? I'm doing everything right. These two guys come in from that office with a folder, big folder. Hey, I got all these routes for you. We're gonna change them out with everything you have. I said, if you touch those fucking routes, I'm gonna throw you out that fucking window. I said, because I just fucking
Not
finished.
today.
I just finished. I
Not
said,
today.
Not
I'll
today.
take them and I'll leave them over here. And as soon as this storm's over, I'll put it all back together. But I am not redoing all of that. Like, this was like maybe 2-3 hours before the storm's gonna start.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing this guy remembered. He goes, I don't know if you remember, you told me to get the fuck out of your office. And then he said, oh, I got to bring these routes, but I got to bring you, I was ordered to bring your routes back to so-and-so. I said, well, you tell so-and-so, all due respect, call me and I'll tell him I didn't give them to you.
Yeah, it's not
And,
today.
and I'll tell him why. You know,
Not the day for it.
and that was it. And they were
not
just doing
today.
their job, right?
Yeah.
But that's just the thought of, hey, listen, let's go out there with the message of, guys, here's the new routes. This is for the next storm. This is not for the day of the storm. You know,
Let's do it on a 2-inch.
and then having the
not
presence,
the 30.
right? And having the presence of mind to be able to speak up for yourself and say, guys, that's not happening today. You know,
Yeah.
and like you touched on, two supers that were probably around right when this sectoring thing started. That was the beginning of it, and there was a lot of hiccups. I will say, like towards the end, it was always automatic, and everything just kind of, you always had somebody somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, and I kind of mirrored where I ended up working now. I kind of mirror the same plan on a much smaller scale. Much smaller scale.
yeah.
But I did mirror the same plan to give it a little guidance and move it along a little faster. So it definitely works, you know, but it's, again, it's all in the delivery, the communication, and listening to each other and working together all the way from the bottom to the top. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's just discouraging people down below that feel like they're just not listened to. And I
Yep.
think there just needs to be more of that.
Absolutely, bro.
You
Couldn't
know.
agree more. Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to get into your comedy end, but we do, congrats on your retirement.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you.
awesome. Good
Congrats.
shit. And
Thank you.
I hope your knees don't hurt. But yeah, so
I never found pants that fit, bro. Come on.
so your comedy
hurt.
career, right?
Yeah.
How long did you do comedy for?
Oh, man.
And when did you start?
Oh, man. I was about 17 or 18 years old when I started. First place I did was, remember Martini Reds on Van Duzer? I think it was Van Duzer Street, right?
Yep.
Martini Reds had like an open mic night. I don't know what made me want to go there. I don't know why I was there. Maybe I was DJing at the time, so maybe I was DJing and I heard about the open mic night. So I went to an open mic night at Martini Reds. There was like maybe you two guys in my audience and like 3 other people, like barflies, you know what I mean? So I told a couple jokes, like it went all right, you know? It was all right. And then I ended up venturing out into the city and doing like all the big city clubs and had some great nights, had some bad nights. But I started from 17, 18 years old. And I did it probably until I was
I remember going.
26. I did it for like 7 years.
Oh, so you did it while you were still on the job?
Yeah. I stopped like when I was like a foreman, like somewhere in there. Once my like son, when I got married, I had my son, and I figured
Couldn't make fun of his mother anymore?
What's that? No, not
couldn't
in
make
front
fun
of
of
him.
his
No,
mother,
no. Now I do because he understands. But love you, babes. Sorry. No, but it ended up being, my wife was with me for all of that too, from when I started through all of it, and it was a tough existence because you were grinding, and you were in the city for all hours, late nights. I finally started like making a little bit of headway and getting a little bit of money.
Caroline's was good, man.
Caroline's, yeah.
When I went to see you at Caroline, I went
That
to
was
see him at
fun.
Caroline's.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of guys from M1 there.
Yep.
There was a bunch of people.
Yeah, Joey
there.
Accardo and the guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
That was a good show.
That show was.
That was a good night.
Dude.
Yeah.
Do you have that on video?
I have CDs, DVDs somewhere.
If he sent you a clip, could you throw it in at the end of this?
Yeah, if you
I have DVDs
Send him
somewhere.
the
I'll try to
clip.
get it to you.
Send him the clip, which would be
Yeah,
the
get me
funniest
the-
part of
yeah.
it is he talks about when you talk about sanitation,
Yeah.
about the homeless guy in the box or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So that would like.
And you remember that, bro?
Dude,
It was all true stories too.
Listen.
It was just my life. I was just talking
Yeah.
about it.
It was fucking
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
And then Rod Stewart, I remember all that.
Yeah, when they told me to it was one of the stories from sanitation when they told me they put me on MLP, they sent me down an alleyway to go pick up cardboard. I pull up, it's like a 4-story apartment made of cardboard. The guy pops his head out. I said, I'm gonna make me steal a guy's house. And then I went a little further in the lab, but when I used to do it, it's funny, I used to have a little notepad, like about the size of the iPhone, and I would always write down, I tried to never overwrite. Like I would just write down bullets, like cardboard house, Rod Stewart.
So that would made you think of the
That
story.
made me think, because then this way it was never rehearsed. It would sometimes, and then they would evolve. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Like, and then one night,
Read in the room kind of thing.
exactly. And
If
then
they're digging it, go deeper.
exactly. And then one night I got lucky. I'm standing at Stand Up New York on like West 79th Street, and I'm waiting to go on, and I was supposed to go on, I think whatever it was, second or third. So I go on, and it was probably, in my opinion, the best show I ever had. It was like right around Christmas time. I went off the top on a lot of shit. Room was packed. I had the room shaking. It was
Really?
just, you walk out of there feeling like the best high you ever had in your life.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
I can imagine.
And I was like, oh, this is great. And it didn't happen all the time like that. So it was like, oh man, you feel, and that's what keeps you going. Like, I'm gonna come back and do it again, you know? But the room was shaking. I remember I told a joke about Abercrombie and the sizes. That's what my wife wanted for Christmas. They have small, hungry, and starving. And I hit them with that, and that was the opener, and the room went. And then once you get that first one, and it just felt right, you know?
You get comfortable.
Yeah, then I get off stage and I smoked cigarettes at the time. So I get out, I smoke a cigarette, and I see a black Range Rover pull up, or a silver Range Rover pull up. And I'm like, it's gotta be somebody with money coming in, right? Range. So Chris Rock jumps out of the truck and he comes into the club. So everybody in the front of it starts fangirling. All the comedians like right up his ass. So I want to be like him. I want to be his peer. I don't want to be a fan at the moment, right?
Yeah.
I'm here to do the same thing he is. So I just find a spot against the wall inside the club. Everybody's hounding the poor bastard. He finds one empty spot right next to me, right here, right next to me.
Yep.
He's got, you know, the pads that have the cardboard on the back? You know,
Yeah,
like
like
a
the
regular
memo
pad.
pads.
When you get
Yep.
to the back, it's just the cardboard. He's got just the cardboard with all the paper ripped. It just came out of a Range Rover. My guy's got a piece of cardboard. And he's writing on the cardboard, like, I guess whatever he wanted to discuss that night.
Yeah.
And I just looked at him and I said, hey, Mr. Rock, I said, it's so great that you're here, man. I really enjoy your stuff. So cool to stand next to you. He goes, thanks, pal. And that was it. And then he's put his head back down. But everybody else was like, up this guy's ass. But I had to say something. It's Chris Rock, you know?
Yeah.
So he ended up getting
should've
on
smacked
stage,
him.
right? Not for nothing.
I would have smacked him.
So I probably wouldn't have been my
It
best
happens a
move.
lot with him.
You know my cousin Kurt?
Yeah, you know my cousin Kurt, he
Yeah.
saved me when I was 12 years old.
He picks up your garbage. He got your rug from you, bro.
Yeah, he's the wolf of the trampoline. Yeah. So he ends up getting on stage, and I'll never forget the first thing he said. He was practicing for the Oscars. That's why he was popping up at comedy clubs. He did the Oscars that year.
Working on material.
Yeah, exactly. He jumped up on stage. I'll never forget it. Place went fucking wild. And he goes, yo, this ain't the Apollo. Cool it. And then he had the meat out of his hand. And thank God I got a chance to get up before he got on. Because once he comes in, you get bumped.
Yeah.
So he was on for like 30 minutes. So all the other dudes and girls
Got
that were waiting
pushed
to get on got pushed back. But it didn't matter. You were seeing Chris Rock live in the club that you were just on the same stage. Like, it was just so cool, man.
Yeah,
that was
that's awesome.
probably the most, like, I performed with a lot of other people like that are like, you know, doing stuff now, and I see them and I'm like, oh man, I could have done that. But I look at it this way. I could be funny and tell jokes for the rest of my life. I didn't feel like that was going to
Bring you anywhere.
I was afraid to put all my effort into that and not solidify my life financially for my family, because I know I want a family. You know what I mean? So now, you never know. I mean, I got a lot more to talk about now, you know, for sure. So you
You ever
never
think
know.
about going back?
I do. Sometimes I get the itch, but I think about the platforms too. I think about, like, you could just do it. I've thought about making videos and like impersonations and things like that. I could do so many voices.
What's your best voice?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I don't want to hear Tony Soprano.
Now there's
That's like
pressure.
your-
Jesus fucking Christ. Now there's pressure. We can do that one. We can do whatever you want. But now there's pressure. I mean,
We used to call him up. He used to do my uncle.
How about cousin Chris? Hey, Kurt. In 1927, there was 4 New York Yankees that were missing 1 pinstripe from their jersey. Neither one of them was Mickey Mantle. If you win, see my wife Geraldine for the money.
Sounds to a T.
But-
we would call him up. I would call him up and make him call my mother
yeah.
and act like Uncle Chris.
Forget it.
Because he
Can you talk
literally.
like Kurt?
No, he talks exactly like that.
Hold on, let me get a hamburger.
Fucking jerk off.
Shots fired.
There was only Gerald's one sounded that bad. Tell us a funny joke, Jerry. Tell us a funny joke.
And my neighbor said, "What's
Tell
running
us a
on
funny
the treadmill?" Sounds like a bear's running on the treadmill.
Yeah, but that was always my funniest thing.
Just tell us a joke, funny man.
My favorite thing to do in life has always been make people laugh. Ever since I'm a kid, and I enjoy it. And you know what? Like the impersonations, you know, I've always been able to listen to something and then just make it my own. My daughter's very similar to me.
Yeah.
Extreme. She's hysterical. Very, very funny. My son too is very funny. My daughter is she goes that extra mile for the laugh and sometimes gets herself in trouble. I was the same way.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to get back into it. Not like dying to get back into it, but
No, I
you know,
get
when
it.
you do something like that, it crosses your mind
You were good at it.
to get back into it. Yeah, man, it was fun. And
You
I got a
should
lot more
just
to
take
talk
that
about.
that CD and just put it on
Yeah.
the internet.
It's old though, man. I had hair.
doesn't matter.
I had hair in that one. Look, I want to show you something. Can I bring up my
Nobody
phone on the
wants
show?
to see
Is that
you.
allowed?
Yeah. Nobody wants to see you. It's
You-
all you
I
guys
remember
that
you
go-
with hair.
It's all you
Look,
guys.
I
that go
actually
bald
just sent
grow
that to my
beards.
friend. I sent it to my friend because he performed the Carolines too. So I sent that to him. Can you see that there?
Yeah, you look like a fucking.
I think he needs thicker
You look like
glasses.
you look like-
Go see his wife.
He's like, let me.
Get thicker glasses.
No, she don't work there no more.
He's like, hold on, hon, Sonny, let me.
Nobody works there
Look
anymore.
at that guy.
No, I remember that,
on with
Sarai.
that.
Yeah.
Look at that guy.
You were
Yeah, you
young.
went handsome. You went handsome.
Young punk back then.
Yeah. So what? I mean, you said you had more material. So give us a joke. Let me see if you're actually
Yeah,
funny.
man.
Oh, I don't know about jokes. I mean, I don't know. I mean, a joke off the top of my head, I can't. Everything I have to say is not allowed on the air right now as far as jokes. You know,
All right. Well, so let's not get into it
Can
because
you
we don't want to
impersonate
get
Wayne?
cut down.
I have to listen to him a little bit longer, but I'm going to start watching the show,
Well, it's only been 2 hours. I mean,
and then I'm going to come
we
back.
want to come in the fucking shower with me? Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
I have to see how you move to become one with you.
I have to see you with no clothes on to be able to talk to you. So you've seen your cousin Chris with no clothes
No,
on.
Uncle
I get
Chris.
it. Uncle Chris.
No, I did not.
Do you have any impersonations that people outside are going to know? Not cousin
Do
Chris.
Rod Stewart.
That's too old. These kids don't know that.
He knows it.
No, I can't do that. Give me something else.
Do Wendy Owen. Do you know that?
No,
No,
come
she
on.
barely said anything, and that's not nice. I'm a guest. I'm a guest.
Never shots
Do,
fired.
who else do you know like that people would know? So that
You just
we
did
could
Tony
say.
Soprano.
Yeah.
Well, that was old
All
too.
right, listen, you
That guy's
put my
dead.
cousin on the spot. Leave him alone.
I can feel my hair growing back right now.
of my cousin.
Stop making fun of him. Yeah, I can do a good Kurt.
All right, listen.
You know what I used to do? I used to
So you put him on the spot.
I actually auditioned for the Scarface movie, the Scarface video game.
Really?
Yes, they actually sent me. I had to go through my Rolodex here. They sent me my brain. It's like a very confused Rolodex. A lot of cobwebs in
No
there.
one knows what Rolodex is.
It was actually a video game that came out for PlayStation.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I saw the audition. So
Vice City.
I saw it somewhere. It must not have been online, whatever. So I sent in a tape to California. My friend had a recording studio at the time. So I read the lines they wanted me to read, sent it in a professional studio, and I never even heard boo. Like, whatever, I'm sure they had their person. But I used to do like Scarface and Harry Potter. Harry Potter was big on stage. So I used to go, I'll give you a little something. You know what your problem is, pussycat? Why don't you get a job, be a nurse? Work with sick kids, lepers,
Wow,
So
that was good.
I can
Tony
go.
Montana.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, same fucking guy. Go down to the Bing, you see Tony, you talk about another Tony, two Tonys together, you know what I mean? I could, there's so many different ones that I could do, but it's just, I always tried to fit them in to what I was doing.
Your comedy
Some
stuff.
type of voice. Even if it was just a voice or my voice changed. I talk like this or, it would just be, it didn't have to be a character.
Came real natural.
No, I get it. I used
did.
to do
It's
Corey
super
Epstein all
sweet.
the time, you know.
Yeah.
It just made the job fun.
Yeah.
To fuck with guys like that.
Yeah, but that was always a big part of it. And my daughter's a clown, man. Same exact way.
That's good stuff.
Same exact way. We're in trouble.
So are you enjoying your retirement now?
Yeah.
Like it's more relaxed where you are.
Yeah.
More time with the family.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
It's more relaxed. It's still a role where I have to be on and make sure, I'm in charge of a lot, but it's a much smaller scale. I'm 25 minutes from home. It's, it's definitely a lot less emails, a lot less pressure. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, it's a little smaller scale.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, we want to thank you for coming on. We're going to
course.
thank you again. But now Kurt's going to do his, rapid fire segment and
Rapid fire questions, pal.
quick answers.
I hope it's not like the impersonations. I had a very hard time coming up with that. You know what I'm saying?
Quick answers. That's it. No explanation. Just give me a quick answer.
Oh, God.
Harder job, dealing with garbage or dealing with people?
People.
One thing the public has no idea sanitation supervisors handle.
The personalities of those people every day.
Worst weather you ever had to manage a shift in?
Hurricane Sandy.
First time you realized this job is a serious responsibility?
When I became a superintendent.
Biggest misconception about sanitation workers?
Not realizing how much they go through every day in the elements.
Funniest thing you ever saw on a route?
Person taking a shit in a litter basket.
Most stressed decision you ever had to make as a chief?
Taking somebody's job.
One rule you wish the public actually followed?
Picking up their dog shit.
Bombed harder on stage or on the job?
Stage. On stage.
Does sanitation give you unlimited comedy material?
Sure. Life gives you unlimited comedy material. Just got to be looking for it.
Tougher crowd, drunk comedy audience or angry New Yorkers?
Angry New Yorkers.
Clean jokes or dirty jokes?
Clean jokes work for everybody, but dirty jokes are good too.
Does comedy save your sanity or test it?
Save it.
Ever get in trouble for a joke?
No, not yet.
All right. All right. Now the next thing we do, you want to do the blind ranking with them?
No, you could do it.
All right. So the next thing would be blind ranking. I'm going to give you 7 things. 1 being the best, 7 being the worst.
I didn't know there was going to be games involved. This is exciting. Go ahead.
All right. You ready? You're going to rank it 1 through 7.
1's the best, 7's the worst.
Yeah, and you can only give each one a specific number. That's it. So you know what I mean? It's all going to fall into. You're not going to know what's coming.
Can I give it a 5er?
You
It's
can.
in the middle? Is there halves involved?
No.
Can I go 3.5?
You can only use each number once.
Oh, bullshit.
You ready?
How am I going to remember what I used? You got to.
No, we'll let you know.
All
ready?
right.
She's writing it down.
Oh, God. But wait. Time out before we start. How do I know what's going to be number
You don't.
7? What
You
if
don't.
I wanted that?
That's
Is my mother on that list?
Blind ranking.
Is my mother or my wife on that list?
I can't tell you.
Because give them both a 1.
No. You ready?
And I'll give up 2 and 3.
Here we go.
Somebody's nervous.
Managing different personalities on the job.
6.
Public complaints and 311 calls.
2.
Weather emergencies, snow, flooding, heat waves.
3.
Equipment breaking down mid-shift.
7.
Keeping workers safe on the street.
1.
Political pressure and city hall decisions.
4.
Morale of the workforce.
Yep. So you don't care about
5.
their workforce.
You don't care about the morale.
No.
All right. See, that's it. But you know what? That's
No, but
typical.
but
for a
number one,
two-star.
but number 1 is their safety. Come on, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
That
You
was
saved-
big.
you saved it
That
there.
was big.
You
You
saved
can't
that
have
one there.
morale if you don't have your limbs, Wayne.
No.
Okay. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
You got to see
That
it.
is
And,
true.
and let's talk about that Scarface. If it don't sound good in the microphone, I'm a little too nasally. Cut that shit out, right, bro?
No,
He's
it
got
sounded great.
bronchitis.
Yeah,
I got bronchitis.
Nobody got time for that.
Oh,
Nobody
Jesus.
got time
I
for
said,
that.
oh, Lord. I
Jesus.
just grabbed my shoes and walked out the door.
Oh,
Said,
Lord
"I ain't
Jesus,
got
it's a
time
fire."
for this. It's a fire. Well, Jed, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me. It was a
Two-star
pleasure. This was a lot of
chief.
fun.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah, this was fun, bro.
And,
Thank you.
Good luck in your new endeavor and good
you.
shit, man.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks for coming.
Great to
Take
see
a
you
look.
guys.
Well, hold on. I just want to say, like every show, be nice to people. You never know what somebody's going through, people.
Hell
and,
yeah. Agree with
peace
that.
out, all.
And be
Peace,
nice
thank
to
you.
Wolverines also.
Yeah.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Yeah. Get a load of this.